Hey, welcome to Stump the Idiot. I am the huge one, aka the idiot, Dave Koco from Kocosports.com, KOCO or Kocosports.net. It takes you to the same place. It's where the world comes to cash, your home for combat sports, and above all, where it's okay to be a passionate fan. Stump the Idiot is basically where we save a couple comments here and there, and we have a lot of them. And we just answer your questions. So it's like a pro wrestling Q&A, only an idiot's answering. You know, there's way too many experts out there on YouTube. And, yeah, so let's just start rocking and rolling. If you want to send us a live question, I don't know how good this show is going to do view-wise live because we're going up against the NFL. But, hey, you know, maybe one or two of you guys will sneak in some live questions. You can go on Twitter at Kocosports, KOCO Sports, on my personal Facebook, which is Kocosports, and also on the YouTubes and Google+. So we'll try to get all of them. All right, so, yeah. Everyone's asking me about the Gunner situation, which I didn't even see. And, you know, there's a bunch of different ways it's asked. Some people say our critics too harsh, our fans too disrespectful. But then you also have the opposite of it. Are fans too respectful, or are they just obedient bitches? And, yeah, I'll just go with this. The Gunner situation, I didn't see it, don't know anything about it. From what I've read and heard, some guy was running his mouth and Gunner kicked him, and it could be kayfabed, not kayfabed. And as far as, like, are fans too disrespectful, as long as you, as a fan, don't touch another athlete and don't get in the ring or, you know, jump the barrier, and if there is no barrier, just, you know, the apron. As long as that doesn't happen, I don't think you're being too disrespectful. I think people put this, like, respect and this thing about pro wrestling that should not be there, and I'll get to that. Like, if someone writes, "You're a fat ass" on YouTube, you shouldn't beat the fucking living shit out of them. I mean, and it's funny, too, because, like, one time I was in a fans with a Buccaneers fan, and this guy gets drunk all the time and beats people up at a Bucs game. And then he goes to a wrestling event, and he's like, "Can you believe these fans are cursing?" And I'm like, why does wrestling get a pass and the NFL doesn't? You know, go to an NFL game. They had to make family-friendly sections. And I've been saying this for WWE for a long time. I think they should have family-friendly sections, but here's the problem. They lie about their demographics, and if they had a family-friendly section, the family-friendly section was 1/4, 1/10, 1/20th of actual pro wrestling fans, they can't tell Skittles they're for kids. So I don't think there'll ever be a family-friendly section in WWE. But if someone says you fucking suck, all that, it's entertainment, especially if you're a heel. If you get a smart fan that's like, "Oh, you're Dixie's bitch," so what? It's just words. You're supposed to be a bad guy. You're supposed to be an entertainer. In pro wrestling and in sports, people just let themselves go. But on the other hand, I don't think you should be able to touch wrestlers. I think that's the line. Like, writing stuff online, yeah, fuck it. Who cares? You're a celebrity. Throw some fucking balls. The second thing is, I think what people chant and shout at you, if you're really a good worker, you would just work around it and change it. EC3 is amazing at this. EC3, sometimes they'll say he can't wrestle. Sometimes he says he's great. EC3 came to Japan, and he was, you know, belittling Japanese people and Japanese wrestling, and there was a "We Still Love You" chant. But he adjusted around it. Sometimes as a live performer, you have to adjust around your audience. And to me, I just don't think a fat guy yelling at you or yelling on fucking YouTube, be like, "Bah, you fucking suck," blah, 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 blah. It fucking warrants a kick in the chest. Now, if the guy's on the ring apron, if the guy touches you, oh, you have every right to beat the living fucking piss out of that guy. So I think it just draws on where, you know, your line of disrespect is. I just don't want a world where, like, critics are silenced. I don't want a world where everything is awesome no matter what. Because here's the thing. When everything is awesome, attendance drops. When you can't complain about something, people are like, "Oh, fuck it, I'll just go home. Doesn't fucking matter." So I worry about that. So to me, are fans too disrespectful? The ones that actually touch the wrestlers, throw a briefcase into the ring, and fucking knock Roman Reigns loopy. Yeah, those guys are disrespectful, and they deserve a fucking ass whooping. That's just the fucking way it is. But a fan who pays $20, sees a fucking bad guy or a wrestler he hates, and he's just like, you know what? Let me get some enjoyment out of my fucking life and scream, John Cena, you suck! Yeah, now I feel better. No, that's not disrespectful. Every goddamn sport has been doing that. We're just just some pro wrestling fans are straight up fucking pussies. Like, oh, I can't believe they didn't fucking clap when they were supposed to clap. Hey, let me tell you about that guy who didn't clap when he was supposed to clap. He's working 2 fucking full-time goddamn jobs. His life fucking sucks. It didn't pan out the way he wants. Let him fucking go to the fucking arena and tell fucking Ralph Moscow or fucking Gunner he sucks balls. Let him enjoy his fucking self. That's what you're fucking there for. You're there for fucking entertainment, fucking sakes. And all of that, but if you want to, it's a secret and we're really bad guys, then shut the fuck up and roll with it. So that's my thing. I think everyone has a line of where disrespectful and respectful come from. I do think there's a lot of people that are way too respectful for pro wrestling. Let me show you an example of fans that are way too respectful. Let me see. Can I pull this off without fucking up? Let's see. And a lot of people share this. If you share a meme like this, hold on, present to everybody. This is a meme that's shared on Facebook a lot. It says, anyone that has the guts to get in that ring deserves respect. Don't you ever forget that. You're fucking mentally weak. I don't give a fuck if you're a pro wrestler, a fan, whatever. You're mentally weak. I'm a big statistics guy. Maybe it's because I was an infantry machine gunner. But no. I think, a lot of people worried about fans being too disrespectful. I think there's a part where it becomes scary respectful, where you're a fucking insane person. Like, oh, well, you fucking never did this, you never fucking did that, blah, 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 blah. You gotta be fucking respectful. They're not goddamn samurais. They're not going to fucking war. It's entertainment. Oh, but it's very dangerous. Compared to what? I'm a very big statistics guy. Compared to what? What sport? What sport is it more dangerous than? What sport is it? It's one of those things. Is it dangerous? Yes, but they chose to do it. It's not like they're not doing it. And I think there are things in life that people just respect that maybe, yeah, you should be able to critique it. Because I'm worried about future critics, especially younger generation. They are so positive that don't call yourself a review show. Don't call yourself a critic. Just say it's a post show. It's a fan show. It's, hey, I absolutely love this. Like, if I watch, TNA is famous for this. If I watch a TNA review and you say this segment was awesome and it clearly wasn't, that's not a review. That's a post show. And I don't get it. Like, I've said it a million times when it comes to the respect-disrespect thing when it comes on YouTube. Like, if you're completely disrespectful and completely angry all the time, I get that demographic. I really do get that demographic because you're angry at what the product is, and you want to change it, and you can't walk away because you love it too much, but at the same time, you're very angry at the situation. So, like, I understand that demographic. I understand the critic who's like, I'm going to tell you the good, the bad, the ugly, and that's where I try to get in. Sometimes pro wrestling isn't as good as we want it to be, but, I try to find the good, bad, and ugly. But then there's other people, and it's successful, and that's the part that confuses me, because this is why it confuses me. I think Bruce Blitz is more negative than me, but I understand his audience. There's an audience that like, hey, I like pro wrestling. They're not doing what I'm supposed to do, and let's go fucking bitch about it. Understand that audience. I even understand the audience of, hey, I'm going to call it right down the middle. I'm going to say good, bad, ugly, what I love about pro wrestling. I understand that audience because, especially if you're not loyal to a company and you're more loyal to an idea. I completely understand that. But to be completely positive for a product that you're not being paid for, you're shilling a product that you're not proud of, and you're completely positive all the time. And they do very well. But I don't understand because, like, why wouldn't you just go straight to WWE? Why wouldn't you go straight to TNA? That's the part that confuses me. And I worry about it because, you know, I don't think there's really good critics out there anymore. And I'm talking about all of entertainment. I think you have to be the extremes because people live in a Facebook world where you're like, oh, you have to say everything sucked or you have to say everything is awesome. And some movies suffer from that. You know, I've seen Fantastic Four. Dude, there's no way it's as bad as any of the Michael Bay movies. But according to Rotten Tomatoes, it is. I just think, like, people have to take an extreme stance. Like, I hear reviewers all the time, people on Twitter, they'll watch a show and be like, there's no way you can complain about anything about that. Like, that's fucking insane. That's just an insane way of thinking. But it's just the world we live in. I think it's too many people are extreme, and people are asking me about critics, and I just think critics shouldn't care about views. They shouldn't care about likes, and they should know what they stand for. Like, if you hate everything, but you don't know what you like, yeah, then you're not really a critic. You're just an asshole. But if you're like, everything is awesome, and I do this all the time. I'll see a YouTuber on, you know, YouTube or radio. I'm back in the day, radio and television, and I would go meet him in person and be like, wow, you thought that segment was good? No, not really. And it even goes, like, you know, Under the Dome. There was a critic who's like, oh, I thought Under the Dome sucked, but it's a review show, and you have to review it in a good light because the people that watch Under the Dome watch our reviews. So there's pressure to put a positive review out. And I'm just like, don't call yourself a critic. Just say you're a post show. Say you're a fan show. But yeah, I do believe, you know, respect is different. And I think when it comes to me, if you're in the spotlight, entertainer, you need to take it. You know what I mean? And I just think nowadays, like, there are parts where people draw the line. You know, I think there's lines that draw. But the number one thing where I draw the line is actually touching them. But, like, yeah, getting a bad review. I mean, because this is the thing. I think pro wrestling, they live in a world where everything's a secret. So they want to trick people. And they want to do, and it's just like, no. I mean, could you imagine? Like, I love the Buccaneers. And that's maybe why I'm a little fucking cranky right now. Stayed up at 4 o'clock in the goddamn morning watching the Buccaneers get the fucking ass with my Titans. Fucking didn't even draft that fucking quarterback motherfucker. But, as a Bucs fan, a suffering Bucs fan, I mean, could you just imagine an NFL player going up to someone on Twitter and punching him in the face or something, or kicking him in the chest? No. But if you go and you start shaking, you know, like, David, why? Why does this team suck? It's all about you, man. Yeah, I could see him punching you in the face and then being justified. So I think, you know, we live in a world where people, like, you have to respect it and borderline worship it, and everything has to be great or you're not a fan is fucking ridiculous. And it's stronger in pro wrestling than anything. You think my beloved Gators lose this year, you're going to turn on 620 WDAE and be like, well, you know what? That third quarter where fucking they threw 19 interceptions, that was pretty good. Like, no, it's just, and even entertainment fans, and, you know, like Gunner's like, oh, he said something mean. Yeah, try being in the Fantastic Four this fucking week. Go ahead, try it. You go try it, you know what I mean? And it just makes you look mentally weak. So, as far as respectful goes, as long as you don't touch each other, then yeah, I'm fine. You know, and of course you got the TMZ creepers. That's a bit strange. That's where, like, okay, the show's fucking over. You know, I think where fandom comes in is like, yeah, when the show's over, it's over. You know, and what I mean by that is just taking pictures of wrestlers' wives, and that's like, no, that's not. That's gone too far. That's gone too far. All right. Yeah. So I'm just going through some more. I'll try to get some live comments. Sorry that we're going head to head with the NFL. Let's see. You got TNA fans. Yeah, I've said this before, and people want to make me clear. I like TNA as a product. I do. I don't like reviewing TNA. I just don't enjoy it. I might actually drop TNA. Yeah, and the reason why people ask me is like, no, I enjoy TNA as a product. Is it perfect? Oh, God, no. But the reason I don't enjoy reviewing TNA is people that don't watch TNA, won't watch a review of TNA. There are people that have already decided TNA sucks forever. There are people that decided TNA sucks and never watched TNA. But on the other end, there are people that, like, yeah, if we come on, if TNA has a good show, and we review it, and we said, wow, that's a good show, you should check it out, we're considered smart and get lots of thumbs up. But if we're like, yeah, I didn't like that segment, I thought this was shit. So it's kind of like, it's selling out for the sake of what? It doesn't get the views. It doesn't get the fucking subscriptions. So I don't know. I enjoy TNA's product. They do a lot of stuff wrong. A lot of stuff wrong. I don't enjoy reviewing TNA for the simple fact is the only way you can beat the system is selling out. And, you know, I don't get paid enough to sell out. Like, I'm not saying I wouldn't sell out. I would definitely sell out, I assure you. I just want to sell out. I have like 3 kids and fucking 3 houses. I got 3 kids, 3 houses, take care of, you know, people. Yeah, I'm not selling out for a couple likes. Yeah, if you want TNA to get fucking great reviews, pay me. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. I think TNA is in a weird place where people absolutely hate it or love it, and it's such an extreme that a guy that comes in and be like, well, this segment was good, you know, people are like, yeah, you're like, this segment was bad. How dare you? And no, I don't want to see TNA be canceled. And I like watching TNA. I just don't like reviewing it. Maybe we should just do a show where like everything is awesome. Don't worry, TNA is the greatest product ever. That's one thing though. WWE fans, you know, a lot of people shit on WWE fans because maybe they don't watch New Japan. A lot of people shit on WWE fans because maybe they don't watch TNA, Ring of Honor, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, and all the other options. But one thing about WWE fans, minus a couple of young John Cena fans, they have a lot thicker skin. Like, if you go to the average WWE fan and be like, that fucking sucked, they're like, fuck yeah, it sucked. But you can't really do that with TNA fans. Like, TNA, it sucked. Well, at least ain't WWE. Okay, well, okay. So, there you go. Will there be New Japan wrestling reviews? Yes. Just the last 2 weeks, I've been real sick and real busy and just real life. I'm hoping to get back to a podcast a day. I want this to be the start of it. I used to do at least a podcast a day. I want to get to it. Plus, I've been saying I've been doing a Stump the Idiot forever. We're like, when are you going to do Stump the Idiot? We're like, oh, it's been like months. But yeah, I want to get back to doing at least one podcast a day. Just because it's fun and it's a break from my real life. You know, and it's weird because, like, you know, like, it's weird because on YouTube, like, if you spend 2 hours a day, you know, on a hobby, people are like, oh, wow, okay, you got a hobby, like playing video games. You're like, I play video games 2 hours a day. People are like, oh, okay, that's understandable. I golf, I do this. But if you're like, oh, 2 hours a day, I do a podcast on YouTube, they're like, get a fucking life. And you're like, well, it's my free 2 hours, pal. Hope your breaks. There will be more New Japan reviews. Will there be New Japan reviews of this tournament? Probably not. It's a road. There's barely any singles matches, and a lot of the matches, I mean, this is pretty much, you can review every New Japan show of September. You ready? There really isn't that many one-on-one matches. The wrestling's pretty decent, but it goes nowhere. So if you want to watch it and see some pretty decent tag team matches that don't matter for anything, you go watch it. Now copy and paste that all through September. Bam, done. So there you go. But yeah, I hope to do more New Japan review shows. I'm hoping to do more shows. I'm hoping to get more hosts on too. But every time we get a new host, they're like, I watch Kocosports for Koco. I'm not that good, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, we're hoping to get more hosts. LK joined us. Boom Boom joined us. We have like 2 indie wrestlers that might be joining us. George Martel might come back. He's a pro wrestling manager. So yeah, there might be less shows with me and more shows on the channel, but I don't know because the feedback is bad. It's just, well, we watch it for you, not for your friends. And it's like, well, I'm not really that fucking good. Not that good. Because we want to have a #1 spot for just wrestling reviews and stuff like that. But also, it kind of, you make a sacrifice. Like, there's a famous YouTuber, a more popular YouTuber that does wrestling, and he said once, like, oh yeah, doing other shows isn't worth it. You might as well just do Raw and the pay-per-views. And, I guess if you consider YouTube a business and you do statistically wise, he's absolutely correct. But I kind of want to be the guy that, says, fuck it. Oh, well, we reviewed Shine. We reviewed Dragon Gate. We reviewed New Japan. And we'll lose 10 to 20 subscribers. But, someone has to review. I don't know where the fuck that was going. Yeah, the NFL season has happened. A lot of people want to know. You should know. I'm a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan. Why I'm all fucking cranky. I don't really keep up with American sports. I live in Japan now, and I used to be a sports reporter in Tampa. I used to, cover all the sports. And I used to know everything. But now that I live in Tokyo, I only follow my Tampa Bay teams, and it's been rough. It's been rough. So as far as NFL picks, I don't really know. I don't follow the NFL that much. I follow the Buccaneers, and guess what? Everyone beats the Buccaneers. That's all I know. I thought the Bucs were going to go 8-8, but after that, this ass whooping today, I'm just like, all right, maybe another number 1 draft pick. I don't know. Today's ass whooping was really a kick in the ball, especially considering we went up against the quarterback we could have drafted. So he had a perfect quarterback rating too. What a kick in the balls. Yeah, I'm a huge Bucs fan, but it's going to be, I don't know. I'm hoping for an 8-8 season. That's what I'm hoping for. That, prior to this game, I was like, oh, 8-8. Now, like, at one ass whooping later, and I'm an emotional fan. I'm one of those guys that, like, 0-1, we got our ass whooped. The season's over. I'm a little emotional like that, but I'll still watch. I watched every game ever, and it's painful. It's painful, especially in Japan. That's when you start questioning what you do in your life. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, man, you do wrestling podcasts? What do you do with your life? I'm like, dude, I was up 4 o'clock in the morning watching the Buccaneers. Don't even fucking tell me what I'm doing wrong with my life. But, yeah, it's been hard. And not all that, but now, like, after that aspect, I'm like, ooh, can we get another first-round draft pick? And that's a really bad attitude to have as a football fan. Oh, man. We had that one. We had that one awesome defense for a couple of years. Let's remember that. We won a Super Bowl too. Oh man! But yeah, it's going to be a long season. All right, let's go to some questions here. Boom, boom, boom. Anything in the live comments? Let's see. Twitter, nothing. Stump the Idiot. Oh, all right. We got a couple from Bullet Club Biggs. Too many people are you have to be one side or another types. Yeah, and whine too much, just my opinion. I think I agree with that. But I think there's a benefit to it. I really do. Like, I think the reason why Fox goes all Republican and MSNBC goes all Democrat, I think there's people are extremists to the point that it becomes crazy. But yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And as far as whine too much, I don't know. Because if something sucks, you should complain about it. But as far as being on one side or another, I think, yeah. And I think a lot of people, they benefit from that. Like, there's shows that are negative all the time on purpose, and there's shows that are positive all the time on purpose. Bullet Club Biggs, I had to shake my head at the Bucs losing to the Titans of all teams. Yeah. Yeah, it's been bad. It's been bad, bro. Well, Bullet Club Biggs, I know you're a Bucs fan. What did you think the record was going to be prior to this game? What do you think the record's going to be now? I thought they had a chance of being 8-8, but maybe I'm just a delusional Bucs fan. That's when you know you have a bad team. Like some delusional fans, like, I have a Giants fan. I'm best friends with a Giants fan, and every year he thinks they're going to the Super Bowl, no matter what. And I'm like, dude, you're delusional. As a Bucs fan, I'm like, maybe they can go 8-8. And Bucs fans are like, don't be delusional. Don't be crazy. That should have been an easy win. Oh, I don't think you can use the easy win in Tampa. I think those days are gone. Maybe for the Lightning, but even then, hockey's close. I don't think anyone in Tampa has an easy win anymore. Hey, at least the Gators beat the East Carolina Pirates last night. Yeah. I went, dude. Last night was crazy because I went to East Carolina and I'm a huge fan of Florida, so it was like, oh my god, should I go with my alumni? But my real alumni was South Florida, and they got their ass whooped. I went to a lot of colleges. Well, that's my question. When you have a bunch of degrees and you've been to a bunch of schools, who's your official alumni? Does it count? I went to East Carolina for like 2 classes when I was in the Marine Corps. Does that count as being alumni? Like, can I roll up and be like, I am a pirate, bitches. Back in '97, I showed up for 2 classes while on it. I don't know. But, yeah. TNA has gotten so whack, it's hard to watch. You got to watch it like The Twilight Zone. If you've ever watched TNA for more than 4 episodes at a time, it won't make sense. Just think of it as a reboot every 4 episodes. That's the best way to go through it. It's just like, all right, they're trying. Reboot. Yeah, it's just, I honestly believe people that think that TNA is doing really good either have a short-term memory or haven't watched from day one. Because, like, and I'm not even talking dirt sheet stuff. I'm talking about kayfabe stuff. Like, when they cut a promo, you're like, I'm watching TNA. That's just not true. That's not true. It's not even true in the kayfabe world. And, yeah, I think people that like TNA have a short-term memory or really didn't watch TNA from day one. But, yeah, the best suggestion I have for TNA, to watch TNA and enjoy it, just every 4 episodes, count it as a reboot. You know, I'm like, oh, brand new TNA. Who's going to play Peter Parker this time? Yeah, but I see your point. The only reason I'm watching now is to see Gail Kim, Marty Bell, and Jade. And actually, those 3 girls I'm beyond disappointed with. Beyond disappointed. It just, you know, if Snuka told me, and I don't know much about Marty Bell, so I'm going to take her out of this equation. But if you told me Gail Kim and Mia Yim are going to fight on TNA, I'd be like, thank God it's a dream match. Here's all the money. And the way it played out, it takes all my pro wrestling. It takes all my Marine Corps. It just takes a lot of discipline not to fast forward those segments. It does. It's just like, you used to like them. I know. Don't hit fast forward. Don't hit fast forward. All right. Yeah. That might be the worst fucking letdown ever. They could be 9-7 missing the playoffs, but now 7-9 or 8-8. Holy Club Bigs, 9-7 and missing the playoffs. Whew. All right. So for the crazy comment of the day, we'll try to get to all the comments, but just what do you think? Who's your favorite team in the NFL, and what do you think the record's going to be? All right, let's see. Why is someone calling me? Don't call me on Facebook. Let's see what we got. Adam L. Cole. Anyway, whoever was just calling me on Facebook, I'll try to talk to you later. Let's see. Adam L. Cole. Dave, I'm watching you on my smartphone. It wasn't and is still on TV on mute. And I agree with a lot of what you're saying. Everything isn't so awesome, so why make it seem like it is? Scratching my head on that. And it says, I meant to say, and watching the NFL on TV on mute. Oh, sweet. So, like, now I'm like, I do a little play-by-play. I don't know who he was playing. Breaking news! The Buccaneers suck again. For a moment, I thought you were about to say you have wives. LOL. It feels that way. I have a mother-in-law, a sister-in-law. Yeah. I don't have many wives, but my wives, she has a big family, and they just take my money. You know, they're like, "Why do you podcast? Shouldn't you be making money instead, that I could steal it?" I'm like, oh, come on! How dare you? Well, we're 11-0. Not too bad. Thank you for all the likes. Much love. Appreciate it. All right, let's go to some YouTube comments here. Adrian asks, "How long would it take me to get noticed by a big wrestling company?" Well, it depends what you look like and how you can wrestle. It depends if you're related to anybody. It depends. Like a big company, there's 3 factors. How many people know you? Like, you know, I'm Mean Gene Oakland's son, or, you know, so, like, there's the factor of connections. The second thing is, is how you look, especially if you want to be in WWE. Like, you know, I am not good looking enough to be a WWE wrestler. I mean, some people are delusional. Some people are like, yeah, I could be a WWE wrestler. No. Looks matter. And you don't have to be good looking if you're intimidating looking. Or, you know, there has to be something about you look-wise and skill-wise. You have to be very skilled to be noticed. Those are the three things. So, you know, connections, looks, and skill. And if you have all three, the faster you go. If you have one, the slower you go. And I guess the least important of those three would be skills. But if you don't have the looks or the connections, you definitely need the skills. Also, a big factor is where you get trained. You know, if you get trained at Team 3D, Booker T, Lance Storm, straight up the NXT thing, then yeah, you'll have a better chance of making it. It's just eyeballs on it. So yeah, you know, like there's people that make it because of skills, and people knowing and connections and all that. But that's what it basically is. And you also have to be very humble to certain people. Just be humble. Being humble matters a lot. And once you get to the WWE level, turn your humbleness to ass kissing. You know, like it helps to be humble, but once you made it, you have to. It's not even about being humble anymore. It's straight up about kissing ass. So those are the three things. You know, if you have any connections whatsoever in the business, use them. Your size and looks do matter a lot, and then your talent, and that's it. And if you know, like, well, I haven't even gone to school yet. Well, then, you know, the percentage of you making is really slim. So you're gonna have to take a chance. I don't know how much money you have, but yeah, definitely check out some of the bigger schools. Find out where they're getting their talent, and if not, just go straight to WWE. But here's the problem: WWE is just going to collect that money and be like, "Yep, good luck. This is what you need to improve on. Move about your business." So it's not easy. It's not easy. But those are the three factors that it takes. You know, connect. And I guess fourth is kind of popularity, but I think popularity comes with the other three. You know, if you're very popular. But even popularity might get you a look at, but if you don't have talent, the look, and connections, you know, maybe, you know, you're just going to be like, oh, okay, you're popular. There you go. Go about your business. We don't need you. So, yeah. So if you're looking for it, and if you can afford it, but here's the thing, like a lot of people don't tell you, the odds of you making it are so fucking slim. So you have to really, really love it. You have to really, really love it. You know, like I always tell people that like want to become wrestlers. If you know, it's expensive to get trained the right way by a legit school, and there's a good chance you're never getting that money back. And you might just be a weekend warrior. You might just be like, hey, I wrestle in the indies on the weekend. And if you can deal with that, then go for it. But just realize making it there is so effing hard. Now, granted, I don't know what you look like. You know, if you're 7 feet fucking tall and can do goddamn moonsaults, then, you know, hey, I'll be like, fuck you, go for it, champ. But, you know, if you're average size, no, you know, it's going to be difficult. So those are the three things. And plus, you know, I've worked close with FCW, so I know what WWE is looking for, and you know, it's pretty accurate. That's pretty accurate. You know, a lot of people are like, well, what do you fucking know? Well, I've seen people go through FCW. I've talked to the people that make the fucking decisions. I know what they're looking for. And actually, popularity is pretty low because Teddy Hart was really popular and they didn't give a fuck. So no, skill, size and looks. You know, we'll just say looks. Skill, looks, connections. You know, and always be humble, and because you never know. Like, you know, like I look like a bag of shit, and you know, I've helped run companies. And if I go to you and be like, hey, what's up, pal? And you're like, get the fuck out of here, Mark. And then 10 minutes later, you realize I've run the whole fucking show. How do you think that's gonna fucking go? You're like, yeah, I care about my fans. I care how you interact with them. When you thought I was just a fan, you told me to fuck off. oh, please tell me when my roster is way too big, why I should put you on my fucking roster. So being humble matters, but yeah, definitely connections, definitely looks, and definitely, So if you're 7 feet tall and fucking Vince McMahon is your love fucking dad, then yeah, you're gonna have an easier time. So there you go. Like, I like Cody Rhodes, but I don't think Cody Rhodes would make it if Dusty wasn't his father. I think Cody Rhodes is one of the best. I just think if there wasn't a connection, he wouldn't be there right now. And you also have people like, Prince Devitt, who just has the skills, busted his ass in Japan. So there you go. Peter Gillen says, random question. What does YouTube wrestling expert only talk about ratings when they talk about TNA, ROH, Lucha, but at the same time won't tell a world about the worst WWE ratings in the last 20 years? Yeah, the reason why is because people want to feel like winners. It's why a lot of Bucks fans are also Yankee fans. It's people want to feel like Vince McMahon's success is their success. And if they have the numbers to back it up, they feel smarter. Like right now, and I love American a la carte, but right now American a la carte and others are like, well, Nikki Bella's going to break the record, deal with it. Like, yeah, no shit. You're betting on a fucking 900-1 favorite. You're not doing anything. So I think a lot of times they just want to feel it. But yeah, I agree. The ratings all-time low for fucking Raw, and no one brings that up. And I think the reason they don't bring it up is because they're either A, WWE defender, B, don't know about it, or C, are just a front runner. Like, let's say your team wins the championship, but it was the worst the NFL has ever been, or NBA has ever been. You're not going to bring up that. You're not going to bring up, like, well, we're the lowest scoring. It's just people spin it, and they want to feel like winners. But I get mad when people say, well, if you don't like it, don't watch. Right, everyone always comes back. That's what burns my bridges, because, like, statistically, once again, it's statistics. I'm a huge fan of statistics, by the way. It's just not proven right. It's not proven right at all. At all. And, yeah, I just think if WWE does good, and I blindly defend WWE, that makes me feel good. And it's a human condition. It's why politics and propaganda and sports franchises, they benefit on that shit. They benefit on a belief, Like, when the Buccaneers won the Super Bowl, 80% of those fans of the Buccaneers also like the Yankees, not the Rays. It's why people change their teams and they're not loyal. It's why, it's just they're winning, so I feel like I'm winning. And if I could predict, like here, you want a prediction? The rich are going to get richer. Oh, wow, Dave, you're a Nostradamus. You're so fucking smart. No, it's fucking bullshit. With this pace of decline, SmackDown will hit TNA Spike TV ratings next year. WWE lost around 1 million people on average from 2014. See, that's not even that long ago. Even more compared to 2013. Hell, people talk shit about CM Punk's title run because of low ratings. His ratings today look like the NFL game. Yeah, and they're also and that's why I think Vince, he didn't get the NASCAR money, and I think that's why he's finally stealing Shane McMahon's idea, who stole Sal's idea, who stole my idea, and it goes on forever. But yeah, the ratings are horrible, and they're very good at finding quick money. That's what they're good at. They're not good at long-term stuff. That's why if I was Vince McMahon, and I've said this before, I'd retire WrestleMania 32 after I break the attendance record. Break the attendance record. Give away those fucking tickets. Who gives a shit? And break the attendance record and leave. And let Triple H worry about it. Because the longer Vince McMahon stays, the less he's going to look like a genius. And he has to care about that. LB Clash of Kings. What? A Stump the Idiot? And you're finally doing one? Yeah. Well, can't hold out forever. Manatees. LB Clash of Kings. I'm Sam. I don't watch any of the sports, other sports, American sports. Yeah, I used to watch them all because I had to, but now I just watch pro wrestling and Tampa. And even then, like, I'm not even that, I'm a big fan, but not really. It's just like, I'm a homer. Like, yeah. Like, it makes me feel American. Like waking up Sunday, 4 o'clock in the morning here, and like turn on the Bucks game. going to work, you know, all pissed off, and people are like, why are you angry? Goddamn Bucks lost. I'm like, I don't even know what that is. The NFL. Why do you still watch it? Like, I don't know. Leave me alone. Sorry, getting a little emotional here. All right, let's go back to some saved comments, and we'll come back to some live comments. Andrew Balez says, and this is about New Japan. This is our New Japan video. I said, like, my statement was, if the rematch angle happens, and it has happened, I wonder who suggested that. I don't know. Maybe someone who gets free merchandise and talks on YouTube and gets free dinners from New Japan, but I know nothing about New Japan. But the whole rematch angle about Nakamura getting a rematch with Tanahashi. And my aspect is, well, they already messed up at G1 before. You know, Naito has won the G1, and he didn't get the main event spot. Tanahashi did. In a vote that I live in Tokyo, Japan, I know thousands of children from being a teacher and volunteering, and I know hundreds of pro wrestling fans from going to pro wrestling bars. With that said, I've never met anyone who's ever voted on that poll. Just one day, they're like, nope, Tanahashi's the main event because of a poll. To this day, I've not found one person living in Japan that's voted on that poll. No, maybe there is, but if I meet hundreds and thousands of fucking people and ask them, hey, you ever vote on this poll? And they say no, how big of a demographic was that poll? Was, you know, so that's one thing. And the second thing is it's the Royal Rumble thing. And I know New Japan fans that speak English, you can never compare a story from WWE to Japan because it's so different. A story is a story is a story. Like, you know, people all the time, I work in Japanese television. Be like, how can you work in Japanese television? Well, there's still a 3-act structure. There's still the fucking rules of storytelling. If you tell a story on Japanese television, Chinese television, African television, American television, guess what? The story is still the story. Now, is the in-ring product better in Japan? Without a doubt. Is Hollywood production better? Without a doubt. But a story is still a story. But some people are like, no, it's completely different. I heard Japanese people have 6 arms. Not true. Not that I've seen yet. All right, so he's talking about the rematch angle, and he's more positive about it than me because I think it hurts the G1. I think it hurts everyone. If Nakamura wins, yeah, the fans are happy. Because let me tell you something. Nakamura in the finals, everyone talked about New Japan. Everywhere I went. No one's talked about it. Like, no one knows about these September events. No one has fucking said a word. And I'm talking about in pro wrestling bars. I'm talking about in classrooms. I'm talking about in, you know, the orphanages and fucking old people folks home. Like, wherever I fucking go, no one fucking talks about New Japan. Nakamura was in the finals. Everyone was talking about it. So I think they're panicking because no one gives a shit except a few English-speaking fans. And they're trying to give the fans what they want. And if Nakamura does win, they give the fans what they want, and there's hype, and people are talking about it. Because no one's talking about Tanahashi. Matter of fact, I taught friends. I'm not going to. Let's not go there. But, yeah, no one's talking about Tanahashi. Not a goddamn fucking soul. And now they're having a problem like, oh, well, everyone wanted Nakamura. Maybe we'll just let Nakamura win the rematch. Well, if that's the case, it hurts the G1. Because just like the Royal Rumble, just like the G1, if you win something and it's important, and then the prize is main event Wrestle Kingdom or main event WrestleMania, and it changes because of fans' reactions, the Royal Rumble and the G1 have less value. It's kind of like, all right, if you win this controller, you get to sleep with Megan Fox. And then you get the controller, and you're like, no, you get to watch fucking Butterbean fuck Megan Fox. Like, you know, like, why the fuck do I want the controller next year? Who gives a shit? So, yeah, I think, like, they made a mistake. And I've told them this to their face. People are like, you won't say that to them. Yeah, I won't. I eat steak. They made a mistake. And the reason they made a mistake is because now they're going to have a rematch. And they might give the fans what they want, but the G1 means less. No one is talking about the G1 anymore. And you'd be like, well, yeah, it's a slow season for New Japan Wrestling. No, that wasn't the case last year, the year before, the year before. The hype has completely died. And on top of that, it's just, it doesn't matter, because then the G1 doesn't matter. Like, for American fans that don't know anything, the last couple of years, they've messed up the Royal Rumble. So the 2 months going into WrestleMania, they had to fix it. Well, here's the problem. Yeah, maybe at the end of the day, we get what we want. Yes, 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 yes. And meow! But then next year, we're like, oh, well, the G1 doesn't fucking matter that much. The Royal Rumble doesn't matter that much. Because when you win it, you have to defend it, you have to do this, you have to do that. Like, the champion, if you want to fix anything, the champion should be the one that's in danger. But Okada's sitting back like, I got a fucking retirement match. I'm going to fucking scratch my balls and be in like 12 tag team matches. I don't get, like, there's no pressure on Okada. But then you got Tanahashi. It's like, you got to beat everyone ever. And your briefcase is always going to be on the line. It brings down the G1. It is two things. Now, what if Tanahashi does win? You're like, well, he's a fighting champion. He beat the G1. He beat Bad Luck Fail. He beat fucking Naito. He beat Nakamura. And surprise, he's going against Okada. Well, why make Nakamura look like shit? Why make Nakamura look like shit? So I think it's a lose-lose situation. I don't know where they're going to go. But if I had to guess, I think Nakamura is going to win. And yeah, they have their excuses. He was hurt. The match wouldn't be as good. And I completely understand that. But here's the thing. You could do that once. But then you do it twice. You do it 3 times. You do it 4 times. And, New Japan is famous for, adjusting the 1-4 show, the Dome show, to be where it's completely fan-happy. But here's the problem. If you fuck up the G1, there'll be less and less value. Naito, he got his title shot, but he didn't get to be in the main event. Tanahashi, if he's not in the main event for the title, the G1 loses its value. It's the same thing with the Royal Rumble. You win the Royal Rumble, but then the guy who should have won is in the match with you, or you lose that chance, it lowers the value. Now, I understand if you're short-term and only care what you want and you only care about short-term storylines, then yeah, no, I agree. No, I'm just an old man bittering, complaining, yeah. But if this is, man, I've been watching the Dome shows since the mid-90s. So I've been watching the Dome shows, mid-90s, live, by the way. I've been going there live. And from the mid-90s, and yeah, no, the G1 should mean something, that. And now, maybe next year will be better, and the year after that will be better, but the Naito and now the Tanahashi thing, it's like, no, it's too close to call. You have to adjust it better. You just can't do that. And, a lot of people, especially newer New Japan English-speaking fans, they defend it blindly. New Japan can't do anything bad. New Japan hasn't always been number one. And New Japan has made mistakes in the past, and New Japan still makes mistakes. One big thing is about, I don't know. I feel like the old man from, what's that fucking movie with Robin Williams? I feel like the old man when it comes to New Japan. Like, yeah, you've read Wikipedia, but do you know what the Tokyo Dome smells like? Do you know what the arena looks like? I feel like that. But yeah, I see your point. It's a good storyline. It keeps you intrigued. But to think that G1 doesn't look weak beyond this, because next year, what does it matter? You know why Tanahashi winning hurt me so bad? Is because I didn't want to see him in the main event at fucking Wrestle Kingdom. Well, if he's not going to main event at Wrestle Kingdom, there's no reaction. There's just like, oh, whatever, they'll fucking fix it. Which is good short term. But next year's G1, the year after that, you know what I mean? You have to think about stuff like that. And the G1 should be important. The Royal Rumble should be important. And just because a booker messes it up, yeah, you can fix it in time for the big event. But then it hurts. And not only that, but let's say Tanahashi does beat everyone. Why should Nakamura have to lose to him again? Why? I don't get it. I think it's a lose-lose. Let's see what he goes on. Well, if the whole rematch angle was part of the initial booking and not only because of the fallout, looks very good from a storytelling and psychology aspect. Short term, Tanahashi and Nakamura have always been close, be it back when they were part of the new Three Musketeers to now. They remained close during the New Japan rebuilding process, so if Nakamura gets the win and the G1 25 winner title during the rematch, that should be well played. And yeah, I agree. I'm not disagreeing, but then you have the Naito situation. And you know what? Maybe I'm overlooking this. But let me tell you something. The G1 won't be as special for me next year if Nakamura does get this win. And whoever wins next year's G1 better fucking go straight to the finals. And same thing with the Royal Rumble. So yeah, right now he answered more of this, but yeah, it'll be interesting. I think it's a lose-lose situation, but the greedy fan of me that's not going to care about the story wants Nakamura to win. So there you go. And yeah, LB Clash of Kings says Bram, Jimmy Snuka, Sahara, Nazi thing, Sarah Lee winning Tough Enough. Such a crazy week. I know she won a while ago, but it was so bad that it's just bad as the other things. I stopped watching Tough Enough after I watched the first episode, reviewed it, watched the second episode, and like, that's it. I've had enough. Click. Yeah, I don't know if Sarah Lee winning is a bad thing or a good thing. The Nazi thing, yeah, it just sucks that people are racist. Bram, that's just fucking crazy. And if he's guilty, hopefully he gets put away for a long time. And Snuka, the Snuka thing, like, how did anyone not know this already? Like, it's one of those, really now? Like, it's been a almost well-known thing that Snuka killed someone, allegedly. I don't know. I just find it weird, and I don't want to make fun of older reporters. I find it weird that people took Snuka's side on this. Like, fuck it, I'll do it. And I love him. He's the Stanley. Who the fuck? I can't remember his name now. Oh, Bill Apter. Yeah, Bill Apter. I love you, man. I think you're the Stanley of pro wrestling media. You have to stop. You just have to stop. You have to either stay kayfabe, or you have to report the news, or you have to do something. Because coming on here and be like, I'm angry, they got it messed up, Jimmy the Snuka allegedly killed someone, and I knew and didn't say anything. Yeah, I don't know if that's the way you want to go. And all that, but like your big debate was, I can't believe people got it wrong. Snuka didn't get arrested in his pajamas. He went to the courthouse and then got arrested. I mean, originally you didn't even say he was arrested, and people were like, and then later you're like, oh, yeah, remember when I was angry about people giving misinformation? I gave misinformation, but I'm still angry. Why are people standing by his side no matter what, blindly? It's just, bro, I love you, man. Stop. I'm old. I am very old. And yeah, you're angry because newspapers and people that reported on it got where the alleged murderer was arrested. Yeah, priorities, bro. And that's just the way it is. And I love how, like, people act like the media was so much better back in the day. Here's the thing, kids. Let me tell you something. First off, he made his money through the kayfabe era, which is great. I don't even hate Bill Apter. Great guy. Second off, people that think the media was better back in the day are fucking lying to themselves. I mean, they did play-by-play for sports with sound effects. They're like, we're here at the stadium. Wow, what a hit! No, the media is what it is. It's a beast. It's a propaganda. It is bigger. Is it better or worse? No. The only thing that it's worse at is it scared. No, really. No, it scared you back then, too. No, it's bigger. It's bigger. That's it. There's no fucking difference. Like, if a newspaper ran a fucking story and there was it was misspoken or misrepresented, of where this guy got arrested, yeah, they would go, oh, there you go. That's the facts. That's the facts. That's the facts. I just hate when older people act like the media is this devil. And back in my day, it was great. No, go, young kids, go back and watch old news broadcasts. Go back and watch old newspapers. No, it wasn't better at all. Now, granted, you get a lot more trolls. You got a lot more people. You know, it's easier to enter the game, without a doubt. But it's just bigger. You don't think there was bad reporting back in the day? Go pick up an old newspaper. It's insane. Go look at CNN's coverage of the Iraq War. No, it's bigger. It's not better. But yeah, the Jimmy Snuka thing, I have no idea, like, how it went this long. It blows my mind. But yeah, Snuka allegedly murdered a girlfriend, and allegedly also Vince McMahon bailed him out. So how true is that? I don't know. We'll find out in the trial. But a lot of people knew about it, and especially older people. A lot of older people like, yeah, it's just fact. Yeah, that's the way it went down. Yep. But like, to defend him because he got arrested at the wrong place, I don't know. I don't get it. Oh, you did a show for 97 fucking hours and you fucking got one fact wrong. It's just like, you know, I don't know. It just blows my fucking mind. Like, hey, that murderer, he got away with it because you said he wore a blue hat and it was a fucking red hat. It's just, dude, mistakes happen. I mean, I just think there should be a rule. If you're going to bash the media about making mistakes, don't make a mistake in that video. There. New rule. Write it down. Gonna happen. But yeah, Snook, I have no idea how it's taken this long. Like, what? Really? Like, to my whole thing, I was like, oh, Snuka got away with it. That's what I always thought. All right, I guess not. The Nazi thing, I think, is a bit of overreaction. And the reason I think it's a bit of an overreaction is just, do you think, I don't know. I just don't think it's that big a deal, but who knows. And Bram, yeah, good luck with that. And Tough Enough, I don't know. So there you go. All right, let's see. Moving on. Mohammed Fez, Danielle, sorry if I mispronounced it. So when do you feel will end? Sorry, I apologize. So who do you feel will end EC3's undefeated streak at TNA, thus become the new TNA heavyweight champion? Also when? Well, the TV deal's up in the air. You know, the TNA fans are like, we're going to be here forever. And TNA haters are like, they're already canceled. They're not on this week. So it's very inaccurate. And that's where Dixie Carter and her Twitter machine should be keeping fans informed. Because I bet you there's fans stop watching because of unrelated stuff. What's up, buddy? All right, headed to a radio. You want to say hello real quick? Say hello. All right. Say bye-bye. All right. Bye-bye means this way. All right. Have fun, buddy. I'll play a game with you in a little bit, right? I love it. Boom. All right. Ah! I just broke something. I am fat. All right, moving on. So what was the question? Oh, EC3 undefeated streak. Until Dixie tweets and what really is going on. And I've always said that from day one. Like, we'll see. Because the thing is, a lot happens in television. Like, it could be you're canceled, and last second they're like, screw it, we'll keep you on. It could be a negotiation tactic. It could be anything. So I wish Dixie would inform people, because I'm sure there's fans that want to watch TNA, and they're like, oh, fuck it, it's only going to be around the week. I got shit to do. But as far as the EC3 undefeated thing, I'd keep them undefeated until there was definitely a lockdown of your future. I would not have him lose the title until you knew where you were going to be. And as far as who, I think the only guy that's worthy of it is Bobby Roode. I think you make Bobby Roode a face and tell a great story of his climb to the top. And EC3 just keeps beating WWE names. Because to me, this is just me. And, some people disagree with this. This is just my view. if Matt Hardy or Jeff Hardy beats EC3, I think I'm done. Because, you know, even though I like watching TNA, the bread and butter that keeps me there is EC3. So, like, you know, if it wasn't for EC3, I don't know if I'd watch. I mean, you have the Wolves, but they're really wrestling no one. You have Jarrett, who's, you know, not going to be there that long. You have talented guys, but yeah, no. If EC3 loses the title to Hardy's, I'm tapping the fuck out. That's just me. I think EC3's title run should be long. I think it should be a very long title run. And I think Bobby Roode, as a face, should tell a long story to get there to him. But the problem is, you reboot every 4 weeks. As a TNA fan, you're like, all right, this is the Jeff Jarrett reboot. This is the fucking Vince Russo reboot. This is the Eric Bischoff reboot. This is the Hulk Hogan reboot. And so I don't know if they have a long storyline in them. And that's one thing that EC3 is also. Like, I love EC3 a lot, but also, like, what keeps me going is EC3 is the only thing that survives these reboots. Who's driving the bus? Well, maybe that's Dixie Carter just putting her foot down. Like, hey, listen, you can fuck up the undercard. Good luck. But no, EC3 is our fucking champion. But we'll find out. I worry when it comes to North Carolina, one of the Hardys will beat them. And if that's the case, I'm going to be one sad little puppy. It's going to be a sad little puppy. Whatever. Might have to tap out. But if I was booking, I'd keep EC3 champ until my home was secured. And then after that, I'd do a long storyline of Bobby Roode's climb to him. And that's what I would do. Now, anyone but Hardy. I'm starting to sound like a Bray Wyatt promo. Anyone but Hardy. The J-Rock Freak says, is Triple H really that great of a booker? Or whatever his involvement in the matches are? Or do people just hate Vince that much? I answered this in the comment, but I'll answer it on air just because it's pretty good. Triple H is our last hope. There's a passing of the torch. You know, we thought it could have been Shane. Vince McMahon is, and I'm going to mean it as an insult and a compliment. He's the Steve Jobs of pro wrestling. He really doesn't do anything, but he steals and markets better than anyone. And Vince doesn't have anyone to steal off of right now. There's very few things that Vince has actually came up with himself. WrestleMania is one of them. And some people credit Hulk Hogan, but I don't know. I saw the potential in AWA. I just think you repackaged a star from another company. But, you know, that debate can never end. But, okay, let's just give him Hulkamania. He gave Hulkamania, and he gave WrestleMania, and he won the war. But everything else he stole. He stole straight up from other people. He's just like, all right, stole. And even Hulk Hogan he stole. So I think Vince McMahon is the Steve Jobs of pro wrestling, where he's amazing at marketing and he's amazing at stealing what to market. With that said, there's no one to steal off of anymore. I mean, you go look and you're like, all right, you know, there's some indie guys. Go fucking take them off their roster and let them sit in NXT. Oh, all right. You know, because like TNA, what are they doing that's original? Everything TNA does is pretty much stolen from WWE. So, like, Vince is just back, like, I want to steal stuff from someone, but everyone's stealing from me. Son of a bitch. Fucking send out the clowns. So I think Vince McMahon is out of touch, and he's awesome at marketing, but he has no one to steal from anymore. Maybe like Apple, WWE, Apple. Fucking come on, WWE pen, get the fuck out of here. Now Triple H, he takes a lot of credit for NXT, and NXT is what a lot of pro wrestling fans want. So if what Triple H is taking credit for is really him, then people think there might be a shot. Because people always ask me, like, what's the line you draw from WWE? Because this John Cena era has been long and painful for me. I think I give Triple H 2 years after he completely takes over, and if the product's not good, I'm going to have to tap out. I might be dead by then, but I definitely have to tap out. So Triple H is our last hope. I just see RDD2, and, you know, here's Triple H, and like, you're our last hope, Triple H. That's it. I mean, if Triple H sucks, There's no fucking saving it. So I think Triple H is a student of pro wrestling and loves pro wrestling and takes credit for NXT. And I think a lot of fans enjoy NXT more than the WWE product. Even though what's scaring me is NXT starting to look more and more like WWE. So I think it comes down to a lot of people don't know for sure, but what he takes credit in is a lot better than what Vince is doing. And we hope that it's time to pass the torch. You know, I thought it was time to pass the torch to Shane. You know, Shane wanted to do a streaming network for ECW, and he wanted to. Yeah, I think WWE would have been a hell of a lot better position if he passed the torch to Shane. So that's why a lot of people. Now, is he really that great of a booker? Who knows? Time will tell. You know, it's easy to when you're part of a team and the team is doing good and you're taking credit. It's easy to look good. But when it's all you and you're 100% in charge, that's when shots will be fired. Kind of like Vince Russo. You know, he created the Attitude Era. Well, I'm wondering how much did you really create? Because after that, not so much came out of you. And you could always worry about Triple H being the next Vince Russo. So overall, all right. John Andrew Levy says, "Hey, I've been thinking about joining a wrestling school the last few years, and now I've decided, well, I'm still young. I want to try. I live in the Cleveland, Ohio area, but I can't seem to find a wrestling school. On your next podcast, could you ask anyone if there are any in my area? Thanks." I think Ohio Valley still runs there, but there it is. Cleveland, Ohio. Cleveland, Ohio. Dear Cleveland, Ohio, any good wrestling schools? How far is Ohio Valley? Ohio Valley has a good reputation, but I don't know. I'll put it on my Facebook right now. Dear. Okay. Let's see. How can I write this? I had a question from our podcast about any good wrestling schools near. You said Cleveland, right? Yep, Cleveland, Ohio. So, yeah, the Browns just lost to the Jets, pal. All right, Cleveland, Ohio. There you go. Boom. And let's see if we get any response. But I would check out Ohio Valley. Maybe I should. Oh, come on, spell check. You know, I am very bad at spelling, but the autocorrect really makes it worse. I had a question from our podcast about any good wrestling schools near Cleveland, Ohio. And thank you. Keep being awesome. There you go. Boop. Bam. And hopefully I have enough pro wrestling fans that'll be like, hey, I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. This school is awesome. But the one that pops up in my mind right away is Ohio Valley, but I don't even know if they're still around. Bradley says, if you're up for joining a joke wrestling page, memes and banter, basically, check out UK Pro Wrestling on Facebook. No problem. Yeah, Bradley used to write for Kocosports, and hopefully I can get him to work on some new projects with me. But, yeah, he has a thing where it's like comedy and banter on Facebook. It's called UK Pro Wrestling. See? Oh, so there you go, Bradley. Let's see. Google screwed up YouTube. Which wrestlers do you think are in the wrong gimmick? All right. Who do you think should trade gimmicks? Like, should Dolph have been with the Adam Rose character? Yeah, I think that would have been better. Dolph in any gimmick been better than now. Would the Demon Kane worked in the Wyatt family? I'm not a big fan of Kane, but yeah, why not? It's just that's not my style of storytelling in pro wrestling. That would be better for probably Wrestle Rant than Answer. I just don't like the dead factor. I'm dead, and okay, got it. Fucking dead. Weirdo. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of Kane at all. I, for one, believe Cena should have been the Undertaker. I mean, who has actually buried more wrestlers? I ask you, who better than Cena? Yeah, I don't know. I think Dolph Ziggler needs a better gimmick than he is in right now. The bullfighters are ridiculous. They need to go. I thought Mark Henry as an ass whooper was really, really good, and they should have done that a long time. I honestly think Mark Henry could have had a Hall of Fame career if he hit his weaknesses. He's not a good wrestler, but if he hit his weaknesses and he had a gimmick where he was just knocking motherfuckers out, like, you know, a WWE version of Kimbo Slice, I think would have been awesome, but of course they did it way too late and they gave up on it. Yeah, Dolph would have been a lot better at the Adam Rose character. The Adam Rose character, the hype character, and the Adam Rose character, it bothered me. It bothered me a lot because they're just too fucking old. You know, it'd be like me starting a wrestling career and be like, I'm Koco the Kid. No, you're fucking 98 years old, kid. Fucking shut the fuck up. But yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of bad gimmicks. The one gimmick that I wish really took off was the NXT gimmick where he was a protester for the environment. I don't know if I blame the talent as much as if I could be a writer, I would love to write that character. I would have made, you could have made national headlines with that. I thought the Jack Swagger being the American, the Tea Party guy, I thought was really controversial and could have went a lot farther. I'm trying to think. Yeah. I don't know. So yeah, as far as the gimmicks go, those are the ones that I think were gimmicks. Just trying to think of roster. Yeah, I think that's good. All right, sorry about that. Maybe. Well, let's fuck that. I'm gonna give you a better answer than that. Let's go to WWE's roster. WWE roster. All right. Oh, New Day. New Day needs to be repackaged bad. Adam Rose. Let's see. Boop, 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 boop. I think Cesaro could be pushed, but I don't know about repackaged. I don't know. I'd probably use David Otunga as a backstage segment. Fandango. That's just a horrible gimmick. They could have done better. Heath Slater. I have no idea. I have no idea where they got rid of 3MB. Never. In a million years, I have no idea. Man, I miss me some Jamie Noble. Yeah, I think that's it. Connor and those guys need it. Macho Man now, that's a horrible fucking gimmick. He needs a better gimmick than that. That should have fucking been it. Shoot. The Miz, I like the Miz gimmick. Neville, I thought it was going to be a lot worse when I heard about it on paper, but it's not too bad. Rusev, they got to go back to his old gimmick. The new gimmick fucking really sucks. Stardust, he's running with it. It's not too bad. Undertaker, I'm going to get some heel heat. Never been that big of a fan. And Zack Ryder. I'd repackage Zack Ryder and make him like an online personality, but run with it a lot more. I mean, I know he's an online personality, but I think he could have ran with that a hell of a lot more. All right, so there you go. Boom, 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 ba-dum. Oh, okay. Well, on Twitter, I can get more followers if I just pay for them. Well, thank you. I'll no. Let's see. Bullet Club Big says, okay, where are we at? All right, right here. Me, and Gail Kim are wasting time in TNA. Yeah, I agree with that. They should take Kurt Angle route and leave before they tarnish their legacies any farther. Yeah, and I just feel bad for Mia Yim. I don't know what the fuck she's thinking. Another thing what happened to Jessica Havoc. I think she just went on a Twitter racist rant and just, I don't know if is that Havoc? I don't know. I'm confused. I don't know who. I know Havoc got in trouble for Twitter, but is Jessica Havoc same as Havoc? I'm retarded. Bullet Club Biggs. In my case, I'm a Bucks fan and a Miami Marlins fan. Boo! Go Rays! After the 0-2 Bucks won the Super Bowl win, the Marlins won the 0-3 World Series. Being a dedicated fan pays off. Yeah, that's one thing. If you're a loyal fan, even to pro wrestling or a sports team, when it's hard times, it feels so good when that team wins. Like, if you're a Patriots, Seahawks, and you're a fan that just like, oh, they win, they don't know what it's like. When the Lightning won the Stanley Cup, when the Bucks won the Super Bowl, it's such a great feeling. And, even the same thing with wrestling. People watch the Attitude Era and then hop in for WrestleMania and all that. It's like, no, you don't understand the hard times we had. Hard times. Bullet Club Big says, what a cute kid. Sorry to break the fourth wall. No problem. That's Baby Macaroni. He's getting bored of his babysitter. After so many TNA regime reboots. I haven't got damn near booted. I have got damn near booted out. Yeah, there's a lot of reboots, folks. There is a lot of reboots. How does it feel? All right, let's see. Fred Nelly on Facebook says, for a moment, I thought you were going to say you have many wives. No, just one. How does it feel to have a second girl, your wife, out of your league? Yeah, I get that a lot. My wife is a lot better looking than me, and I'm lucky. So thank you, Facebook, for pointing that out. So there you go. Boom, boom. All right, let's see. Let me refresh the old YouTube. 17-0. Not too bad. Not too bad. Appreciate it. Much love. Much love. All right. LB Clash of Kings. Have you ever thought about getting your podcast on iTunes? Also, have you ever thought about doing a talent show edition of Kocosports podcast with all cast members? Yeah, that'd be cool if we're available. The big time thing about host is just there. But yeah, as far as getting them on iTunes, it's always been a thing to do list. But yeah, if I'll look into it. Is it easy? Is it hard? I don't know. But yeah, I always wanted to put it on more places. I've just been lazy. And not only that, but sometimes YouTube's combined, they just flag you. And we have a couple friends in YouTube we just yell at. I don't know how good of a friendship it is. But yeah, YouTube can just destroy you instantly. So yeah. So there you go. Yeah, I got to look into iTunes and all that. I definitely have to expand it. I was talking to YouTube because, you know, no, but I was saying, like, they should have an auto podcast thing, especially for shows like this. But yeah, basically me being lazy and not knowing how to do it is what's standing in the way from us being on iTunes. So there you go. Because the only reason we really do it on YouTube and Google Plus is super easy. Like, I don't know how easy it is to get on iTunes. You know, LB Clash of Kings. Are Nakamura and Okada's New Japan's biggest stars their main event guys, or is AJ Styles and Bullet Club biggest New Japan stars? But if you had to choose between who you'd rather buy a ticket to see more wrestle, would you choose Okada and Tanahashi or AJ Styles and Bullet Club's versus Maria's tag team? Sorry, I forgot their name. All right, so let's see what we got. Is it Nakamura and Okada New Japan's biggest stars? I think so. Tanahashi's going to wayside, especially with the younger audiences. Yeah, I think it's their biggest stars. I think they're the cool superstars. I think Okada was the biggest superstar, but Nakamura last year, like from Wrestle Kingdom 8, maybe, yeah, right, yeah, especially right from Wrestle Kingdom 8 to Wrestle Kingdom 9, he just fucking blew up with popularity. I mean, he's always been popular, but now it's crazy. Okada has always been loved. He's always been one of the biggest stars. And it's not that Tanahashi isn't a star, it's just he's not as big of a star, and he's not selling as much merchandise. He's not getting over with the Japan audience as much. And, you know, people that are not in Japan will be like, well, I see people trying to touch him and grab his sweat and all that. No, he still has his fan base. It's just not as big and as loud. And if you go and you just sit in front of the Tokyo Dome, you'll notice no one poses with air guitars anymore. No, everyone's yow, Bullet Club and all that. If you went off merchandise sales alone, Bullet Club and Nakamura, I think AJ Styles Nakamura would be the main event if you went off merchandise sales. But Okada has a really strong fan base. Nakamura has a strong fan base, and I don't know, John's. That was a slip. Tanahashi is like John Cena. He has his fans. But the problem is Japan fans are a lot more respectful, so they just don't buy your shit. They just don't watch you. And I don't know. The best way to describe Tanahashi is people respect him because he's such a great wrestler, but at the same time, we know he's going to win. So it's like, all right. So it's kind of weird. And plus, there's a fan base here, especially at the pro wrestling bar level, where people have left New Japan because Okada and Tanahashi have wrestled each other way too many times. I know, like, someone will be like, well, they don't sell as many tickets. Yeah, because New Japan, never mind. But yeah. Yeah, when it comes to popularity, actually, you know, living here and talking to people, I think Nakamura and Okada is the most popular. Nakamura surpassing him at Wrestle Kingdom 8 through 9. And that's why Tanahashi beating Okada at Wrestle Kingdom 9 hurt me even more, because I'm like, no, Wrestle Kingdom 10, if you go off fans and if you feel the atmosphere, Nakamura should be main eventing Wrestle Kingdom 10. And I was like, oh, fuck. That means, Okada didn't get his moment in the sun. The only thing Okada has huge advantage for Nakamura is he's crazy young compared to Nakamura. AJ Styles in the Bullet Club. AJ Styles had a problem in the beginning because everyone felt that he took Prince Devitt's spot. But his second title run, everyone learned to respect him. And Bullet Club does sell a lot of merchandise, even in Japan. But I don't know if Bullet Club is over more than AJ Styles. And that's, if AJ leaves and someone replaces him, would the machine keep rolling? Because I think AJ Styles did great things for the Bullet Club for outside of Japan audience. But a lot of Japan, I guess, smart fans, there was always whispers. That's Prince Devitt's title, that's not his title, that's Prince Devitt's title. There's always that whisper. But his second title run, those whispers really went away, and he really proved himself. And he did great at the G1 and all that. So, AJ Styles and the Bullet Club are really, really popular. But, if you go to an orphanage and people watch Pro Wrest, it's all about Nakamura and Okada. If you go to a Pro Wrest bar, it's about Nakamura and Okada. But a lot of people respect AJ Styles, and that wasn't always the case. He had to earn that respect. A lot of people just thought he was playing the part of Prince Devitt. Like, oh, Prince Devitt did all the fucking work, and here you are. But not this year's G1, but last year's G1, and his second title run really turned people's eyes around, their minds around, their hearts. I don't know what the fuck word I'm looking for, but novelist. But if you choose, I'd rather see Okada and Tanahashi versus AJ Styles and Bullet Club versus Maria's tag team. I don't give a shit about Maria. I have no idea why Ring of Honor and New Japan promote her the way they do. I think she's a beautiful woman. I have no idea. She gets top billing on everything, bro. They promote her like crazy, and I don't get it. I don't want to player hate, but I'm just like, there are probably, you're joking. I don't know if you're joking or you just forgot the name, but Maria's tag team. Sorry, I forgot the name. It doesn't matter. Probably most people in Japan don't know. AJ Styles and Bullet Club first time. That's just a shit match. It's just a shit match. But, I personally would have, this is me just backseat booking. A lot of people get mad when I do this. I would have had Okada win, and then I would have had Okada win Wrestle Kingdom 9, and then I would have had Nakamura win the G1. And then I would have had a storyline where it was brother versus brother, and that would have got over like crazy. But I don't run New Japan. Not yet! I'm just kidding. Market Garden. Have you been uploading Raw / WWE reviews elsewhere? No. Just YouTube fucking sucks balls. I haven't been doing daily shows though. I stopped doing daily shows for a while. But just YouTube. When it comes to YouTube, the subscription thing, they have like some Facebook code, and you have to like us and find us out of their way. Because like in Facebook and YouTube, and I'm not just saying this because like please like me, even though there's a part of me that's like please like me. But even if you do it on other shows, like if you watch YouTube and you they'll come in your feed a lot more. So like there's times like I watch Game Grumps with my kids. I don't know if that makes me a bad father or not, but I watch Game Grumps with my kids. So even if I didn't like the episode, or even if I didn't watch the episode, I thumbs up it so that it comes in my feed. But YouTube doesn't show you all of the shows. It only shows you what they think you want to see. And on top of that, they also will show you a lot more popular YouTubers than us. So, like, if you subscribe to Philip DeFranco or someone big like that, they're like, well, he obviously wants to see Philip DeFranco and not Kocosports. And Facebook and YouTube is making it harder and harder for smaller channels to make it. That's why I try to help out as many small channels as I can. Try to bring back a community. I have an idea to help try to bring back community. but it will probably fail miserably. Stay tuned. LB Clash of Kings, Tanahashi versus John Cena match in New Japan. Who should go over if you had to choose? Tanahashi. He at least has talent, and he's got the home turf. Now play two scenarios. One, if John Cena is still in WWE, and one, if John Cena left WWE and became full-time New Japan talent. If John Cena is still in WWE, they do some screwball DQ finish. There's not going to be a clean finish. Just because I don't think WWE would let John Cena win, and I don't think New Japan would let them win. But New Japan would bend more before WWE does. But I think it would be like if John Cena won, then the undercard, all the New Japan guys would probably beat WWE. But most likely, I don't know. If he's still in WWE, I say no DQ or John Cena wins because New Japan is more willing to bend and break and help someone than WWE is. And one, if John Cena left WWE and became full-time New Japan talent, Tanahashi, I don't know. I don't know. It would be interesting. A lot of John Cena defenders would either give themselves Barry Horowitz and celebrate or really get ran out off the internet. Because John Cena, he would have to wrestle in New Japan. And it would be interesting. It would be interesting. Because I think he would definitely get, let's say John Cena leaves WWE, and it's not going to happen, but to answer the question, I think he gets a huge pop, and people get excited to see him in New Japan just because of the star power. I think that wears off in a month, and people fucking hate him. And, I think if he's a New Japan talent, at the end of the day, your champion still has to be able to wrestle. So if he can't hold his own, because AJ Styles got a lot of fucking heat, and he can wrestle. So can you imagine John Cena? Maybe John Cena, leader of the Bullet Club? I don't know. It's getting a little ridiculous. This ain't going to happen. But if it did happen, to answer the question, Tanahashi wins. And then if he's still in WWE, John Cena wins, or it's a fucking shenanigans. LB Clash of Kings. I kind of want Spud to beat EC3 streak and title reign. I'm okay with that, but they have to put Spud on television more and promote it more and push him more. Like, if he just goes to the UK and he's never on television and he beats him, that's kind of a disappointment. But if there's a story to it and all that, then yeah. Because I think if there's a story to it and it happens in the UK, that's good. But if it happens in the UK and there's no build-up, I think it's a letdown. I think, though, a lot of people will shit on Spud winning the title, though. A lot of people will. I won't be one of those guys if it's booked right. But people that don't watch or hate TNA, they're going to shit on that a lot. LB Clash of Kings. I thought Dusty Rhodes and William Regal were real people, and writing and running NXT and Triple H just took their credit. I don't know if that's true, but a lot of people have said that. A lot of people have said that. So that's why when I say Triple H takes, that's why I always add Triple H takes credit, because I actually don't know how much Triple H really does. Kurt Angle versus Zack Sabre Jr. at Lockdown 2016. That would be amazing. I'm gonna tell you something. It's not gonna be very popular. I have not watched enough Zack Sabre. I might be mispronouncing his name. I need to watch more of him. I've seen him. I enjoy him. But, man, people really love him. I need to write that. And, dear journal, watch more of this wrestler. Love you. Oh. But, yeah. Lennox Wooderson. Did TNA miss the boat on being Europe's #1 promotion? I believe so. But, if it was me, I would have never left Europe. I would have became Europe's #1 promotion. Your ratings are amazing. The only defense against this that I heard was, flying people over, but who gives a shit? Have less fucking American wrestlers. And the second thing that I heard was, well, if it's there all the time, it won't do good. But, yeah, but you're in the Impact Zone in New York all the fucking time. So, I think they missed a huge boat, but that's just me. But yeah, I would, even if you don't get a new television deal in America, I'd become Europe's #1 promotion and go from there. Europe fans are crazy for that shit. They love it. Give it to them. So, and not only that, but in America, they're so WWE bound, the majority of them, that you're fighting a monster in Europe that could be like your own little country. And not only that, but just marketing wise. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I've heard the excuses. I agree. They missed a huge fucking boat. They missed the goddamn Titanic on that one. All right, let's see. Boop, 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 boop. Rage Against PG. Push Berry Fire, Ryder Kane Truth. Push Berry Fire. I would. Oh, I'd fire Kane. That's easy. And oh man, I love both these guys. I would have pushed Truth just because he's better in the ring, and then Barry Ryder. But I would make him like a legit internet jobber. You know, kind of, yeah. That's what I do. Eva Marie, Kana, Gail Kim. Well, push Kana. Fire Eva Marie, Barry, Gail Kim. In their prime, Taker, Flair, Liger. All right, I have to choose one, and I don't enjoy this guy the least, so here comes, I fire Taker. I know, it's stupid, you know. I don't know. There's so many. I think I wish there was more positive answers. I'm going to be greedy on, I don't know. I'm going to be up all night. I'm going to regret this one, but you know what? Fuck it. I live in Japan. You know what? People that are going to whoop my ass are closer here. Push Liger, Barry, I can't say it. Moving on. Oh, man. LB Clash of Kings. We got a lot from you, sir. Let's see. Oh, there's a lot. All right, let's go to some live comments because LB Clash of Kings is dominating the saved up comments. Boom, boom. Thank you for the kind words on Twitter at Kocosports. Let's see. Bullet Club Biggs. You mean nobody wishes death or injury on Tanahashi like American fans do John Cena here in the United States? No. I don't know if people take their hatred that far for pro wrestling. They love it. But yeah, no. I don't even wish death on John Cena. I just wish him success in something else. But no. No. I mean, people are really wishing John Cena was hurt. When those injury rumors came out a few weeks ago, it's pathetic. Yeah. I don't know. I feel guilty that I felt pleasure. You know, but at the same time, I'm just, he's hurt. He's still going to win the fucking title. What does it matter? But yeah, no. Because the difference is Tanahashi can wrestle. That's a huge difference. You know, a lot of people will say John Cena can wrestle, but I don't. Moving on. Bullet Club Biggs. Kevin Owens versus Nakamura. Oh, yeah. Already had that match ROH a few years ago. It was a good match, by the way. Sweet. I have to check it out. But yeah. Boop. So there you go. Facebook. All right. Just get some NFL highlights. All right. Let's see. Let me refresh the YouTubes. 19-0. Not too bad, gentlemen. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Might have some ladies listening tonight. All right, where is it? All right. Do you think, Lennox Wooderson says, do you think Cena turns for a WrestleMania match with Roman who gets cheered? I don't think he'll ever turn heel, but if that's the case, yeah, that'd be kind of interesting. I mean, it would benefit the next guy. He's passing the torch, but that means you have to bet on John Cena doing the right thing. So, yeah. I don't know. I don't see John Cena ever turning heel, but that scenario makes a lot of sense. All right, LB Clash of Kings. LB Clash of Kings, you're dominating post questions, live questions. Give yourself 2 Barry Rollins. If it wasn't for LB Clash of Kings, this channel might not survive. This Q&A sessions might not survive. LB Clash of Kings says, okay, game time. If you had to push and give a world title reign to, and who would you fire? Who would you give it to? All right, so let's see. 1, David Otunga or Ruth Slater? All right, so had to push to give world title to, or you'd have to fire. Okay, let's see. David Otunga or Heath Slater? I give it to Because David Otunga, you can get some real heel heat, and he can walk around on all celebrity shit. But I'm still going to give it to Heath Slater. It could be a huge underdog story. One of the Young Bucks, or Maria's husband, whatever his name is. One of the Young Bucks. Oh, poor Maria's husband. Kenny King or Ellie Drake? Kenny King. Bush. No, Koco, LK, or Boom Boom? No, Coco's old. Boom Boom's old. We'll go with the young kid. LK, we'll push. Lennox Wooderson. How would you book Kana, and would you pair her with Kenta? I don't know if I'd pair her with Kenta. It's a possibility. I mean, if you're going to pair Kana with Kenta, I'd bring over one more Japanese talent, because then it would make sense. And I don't know, maybe, bring over another Japanese wrestler, because then you could fight and represent Japan and all that. But I don't know if today's environment enjoys that as much. How would I book Kana? I'd book her the same way they booked Kenta, or the same way they booked Prince Devitt. Just international superstar, and just have her go out there and dominate. That's just me. Plus, she doesn't have that many good opponents, so that's going to be scary. Lennox Wooderson, has the Bullet Club gone on too long? Do you see it ending? Can New Japan end the stable, or does it belong to the wrestlers? I don't know the deal they have worked out, but I imagine it belongs to New Japan. I can't see a big company like New Japan giving it to the wrestlers. Yeah, do you see it ending? I don't know. It still sells merchandise in Japan and worldwide. And worldwide, it's an icebreaker. There are so many New Japan fans this year, these last 2-3 years, that have jumped on board a New Japan bandwagon because of Bullet Club. So, no, I don't know. It's doing its job. I think there's too many members, and I think maybe you should swap out some of the members because it might be getting stale. And I think, I think less members and important members might be key. But then, you don't get young boys getting that rub and all that. Because I think some things worked out. AJ Styles, Machine Gun, Tonga's doing great. Young Bucks. I think some people have really benefited. Even Hall, I think he's benefited a little bit from it. But then there's some people that it's just been a huge bust. It's just like, no, it's not fucking working out for you. What I would do to protect Bullet Club is less Jeff Jarrett's. To this day, people mumble under their breath. And I like Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett, what the fuck is that? So I think I would make it where it's less people, and I think to help Bullet Club get on is foreigners have to join other stables. It just seems stupid. Fuck, I can't think of his name. Who's the fucking Scott Hall fucking guy? God damn it. Kenny Omega. I think Kenny Omega was fucking ridiculous. The whole fucking run with Kenny Omega. Everything about that was ridiculous. It was fucking stupid. It's beyond fucking stupid. No. So be more selective of who you let in, and just because you're white doesn't mean you get in, or just because you're a foreigner doesn't mean you get in. So that's what I would do. I'd keep the Bullet Club, and maybe I'm fantasy booking here, but if you booked it my way and Okada and Nakamura, where are you gonna maybe have Chaos break up? Have Could you imagine this fucking T-shirt sales? Nakamura turns on Okada. Nakamura joins Bullet Club. Dude, the T-shirt building of New Japan just blew the fuck up. So if they were more choosy, and I also thought Tanahashi joining Chaos would make it interesting. But I think it's just stale. It's fucking there's Tanahashi and fucking his friends. There's Okada and his friends. And there's fucking AJ Styles with all the foreigners. And granted, they have that one token guy with the fucking who always brings out the sexy girls. But, so that's it. No. So I don't think it's gone too long. I think it's gone too long and has too many members. And they just have to keep it fresh. You know, there's always rumors, especially in the Japanese blogs, there's always rumors that AJ's going to leave and AJ's going to become a face. This is what Japanese bloggers talk about all the time, and I think that would have added to it, but then you have to find a foreigner that would pick it up, you know? So I think Machine Gun, and even though I hate Bad Luck Fail, I think they have to stay there forever just because they were some of the originals. I think Tonga's pretty good. Did Mayweather kill boxing in your eyes? No. He's just a defensive boxer that no one has. If anyone has killed boxing, I know this is going to get me some fucking heel heat, Lennox Lewis. And not even because the way he boxed, not even because the way, you know, I like Lennox Wooderson. I mean, Lennox Wooderson. I like you, Lennox Wooderson. I like Lennox Lewis, but the problem with Lennox Lewis is that he didn't retire. He just held on to the titles until they stripped him of them. And I think that hurt the Klitschko's. I think that hurt the heavyweight division. I think that hurt boxing in general. I don't think Mayweather killed boxing because he made money. I just think his style of boxing isn't appreciated. You know, people want to see Rock'em Sock'em robots, and Mayweather, that's not his style. So, did I think he killed boxing in your eyes? I still think Lennox Lewis did way worse damage. Because before, Lennox Lewis was the world heavyweight champion. Oh my God, who's going to get it? Like, the heavyweight division matters a lot. And him just sitting back, not retiring, not getting a rematch with the Klitschko's, instead just sitting back, holding on to the titles until they took them away. I think that hurt boxing a hell of a lot more. And of course, you have the UFC with a lot of younger fans. The UFC is getting a lot of popularity with, you know, boxing fans, especially the younger ones. Same thing with pro wrestling. The UFC is taking away a lot of those fans. You know, their boxing fans have a lot, but they're all older. They're all older. Like, I would be considered a young boxing fan, but I'm old as shit in the MMA community. So I don't think he killed boxing. I think a lot of people hate his style of boxing. I don't think he helped boxing. You know, I think, well, I don't know. He had a part. He could have fought Manny a lot earlier. I didn't consider that part of the question. Yeah, because everyone was like, I want to see Manny. But, you know, there are people, boxing journalists, that say, well, maybe he held off on the Manny fight because if that happened, no one would be interested in other fights. That's kind of a hard sandwich for me to swallow. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I think Lennox Lewis killed it, and Mayweather just stabbed its corpse a couple times. Lennox Wooderson also says, if TNA survives to Eric Bischoff, do they bring in Hogan? Sure, why not? Why the fuck not? I don't know. America loves to forgive people. And if Hogan comes in and, you know, I could see people forgive him. I don't know if I ever will, but the masses love to see someone fall and then pick themselves back up. Would I bring in Hogan? No. But then again, I don't know. He's so fucking cheap probably now. I don't know. I wouldn't even give it to Eric Bischoff, but Eric Bischoff probably has connections in television that helps him out a lot. And plus, it doesn't look like Dixie's really good at dealing with television networks, so maybe that's what Eric's really being brought in for. Lennox Wooderson, who would be in your new Four Horsemen in WWE? Do they have talent to make one? I think so. You know, I would, but I think I've said this before, but getting to pieces. I would have Ric Flair play the part of J.J. Dillon, Charlotte just to be different, you know. Plus, there's a connection there. After Charlotte, Dolph Ziggler, maybe Cesaro, and a big guy. I'm trying to think if I have to have a big guy. You know, Dolph Ziggler, Cesaro, Charlotte, and I'm trying to think just a really decent big guy wrestler. I don't know. Maybe he's not tall, but he's got the muscles. Maybe Yuha Nation. So, I don't know. But I think Dolph Ziggler would help being with Ric Flair. Charlotte would help. Cesaro would help. I try to find people that have the talent, but Vince doesn't have confidence in. and then have Ric Flair do it. And the same thing with Jerry King Lawler. I'd use a lot of these guys that can cut promos like Mick Foley, Jerry, did I call him Jerry Maguire? Jerry Lawler, Ric Flair. Those guys I'd make to managers. Even Piper before he passed away. Maybe Stone Cold, but I think his character's too big to be just a manager. LB Clash of King. I wasn't joking. I literally don't remember Maria's tag team, their names off my top of my head. I just call them Maria's tag team because from little I've seen from them, it seems like Maria is the face or captain of that team. Yeah. It's got to suck too. I don't know. It's got to be better. There's got to be mixed feelings because Maria gets you booked around the world, but at the same time, no one knows who the fuck you are. Lennox Witterson, who do you think would bring more interest to WWE, Daniel Bryan or Jeff Hardy? Healthy, sober. I mean, we're gonna have to throw that in there. Healthy, sober. I say Daniel Bryan. I think Jeff Hardy's a feel-good moment like the Dudleys, and it just dies off. I think Daniel Bryan, there's a different type of love for him, and almost everyone loves him. They have people that are like, oh, I hate Daniel Bryan, but it's so slim. And even then, they're always like, I hate Daniel Bryan fans. I hate indie fans. I don't know. I think Daniel Bryan represents everything that is right in pro wrestling, and we can get behind that. Where Jeff Hardy, not so much. But I think Jeff Hardy would get a huge pop, and people would be excited. I would not be one of them. Every time I see WWE possibly talking to the Hardys, I'm like, oh. So, Lennox Witterson, if wrestlers could work multiple promotions like boxers, would wrestling have bigger stars? Imagine Okada at WrestleMania defending 3 world championships against Daniel Bryan. Yeah, probably. Yeah, but then, yeah. There would be problems, but I think there would be bigger stars. Yeah. But then again, you would also have fights that would never happen. But then you still have that, so I don't know. Because WWE slowly but surely has become the NFL and Major League Baseball of pro wrestling. And I think with them and NXT and Triple H, they might accomplish that in the future. So there you go. All right, let's see. Fact or fiction? If WWE hates being called pro wrestling, then doesn't that mean they're no longer #1 pro wrestling company in the world as they refer to themselves as sports entertainment? And that is from LB Clash of Kings. I think we're nitpicking here. All right, who is the worst female talent to ever be in the wrestling business? Kelly Kelly. Oh, I love Kelly Kelly. Sunny, Bella Twins, The Cat, Deborah, Havoc, or NXT diva Sahara, who had an affair with Seth Rollins earlier this year? Or has there been a bad women's wrestler Valiant? Or has there never been a bad women's wrestler? I know, there are a lot of bad women's wrestlers. I don't know. What do you consider worse, like to deal with? Because besides Sunny being absolutely batshit insane, she did her job good. Bella Twins, I fucking hate them, but she did her job. The Cat was pretty horrible. But there's other girls that literally we date, and they just show up. There's been some really bad girls. Deborah is a good example. Havoc. I don't know. I don't know what you consider worse, like as people, because once you get to Sahara and Havoc, I'm thinking you're talking about people. Who's been the worst women? I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of horrible women in pro wrestling. There is. There's just a lot of horrible women in pro wrestling. There's some really great women in pro wrestling, but then again, there's a lot of horrible men in wrestling. Matter of fact, pro wrestlers are just fucking horrible. But who's the worst of the worst? I don't know. I don't know what you're looking at. So I don't know. I feel bad because I like her, but Sunny's pretty effing crazy. I'm gonna say The Cat. The Cat really served no purpose. I'll say The Cat. There you go. But she's not alone. There's some really bad ones. Kevin Dunn, Vince McMahon, and Cena are the people backstage who want to see Kevin Owens fail and are the ones who say he's not main event material. Probably. I don't know. I'd say probably. There's just a struggle. And his thing is you got to build up someone to beat John Cena, and they lose, and fucking move on. The Dollhouse is the best female faction team in wrestling history or current wrestling right now. No. Maybe at one time. They're horrible now. They just dropped the fucking ball. No. I mean, they're not even the best of all time in TNA. You got to go beautiful people for that. I mean, I love the Dollhouse, but look what they did to Mia Yim. So no. And as far as best female faction of all time, I say no. I mean, there's a lot of great female wrestling out there. I like the Dollhouse a lot. It's just heartbreaking. The booking and what they did with Mia Yim is beyond heartbreaking. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. This season of Tough Enough will be canceled. We already know. No, maybe I should do. Maybe, you see what happened was. That's how far behind. Hold on. That's how far behind the questions are. Let me impress Elby. This season of Tough Enough will be canceled if USA Network removed WWE Network before the season finale. No, it won't. Oh, I'm a genius. Some of these questions are a little old. Triple H has buried more people in his career than John Cena. No. It's been 10 years, bro. 10 years. Stephanie McMahon will allow China in the Hall of Fame if China faces Stephanie in a match at WrestleMania for China's Hall of Fame spot. No. China should be in the Hall of Fame, but she messes up a lot. And you got to remember, Stephanie McMahon has her ex-husband or ex-boyfriend, and there's drama beyond belief. McMahon, I don't know. But then again, I don't know. Vince McMahon has forgiven a lot of people, so maybe that will be Stephanie's. Oh, look, I forgive people too, just like Daddy. But I don't see China getting the Hall of Fame anytime soon. Team 3D and the Road Warriors are tied and hold the most tag team reigns record in wrestling history, as both teams are 23-time tag team champion. Do you think Team 3D should have one more tag team title run to break the record? Yeah. Me and Wrestling Ranted and a lot of pro wrestling fans, we got to do a Fave 5. We just talk about who's better, the Road Warriors or Team 3D. I don't know. This is a debate that's going to go on forever, but I think they should deserve to break the record. Unlike John Cena, the Dudleys went everywhere. Unlike John Cena, the Dudleys had to deal with different bookers. They were never the chosen one. They went around the world. To me, that's stuff that I respect. Lucha Underground is kind of like AAA's developmental system version of NXT. A little bit, but not exactly. I think it's more of AAA testing their waters. I think it's more of testing the waters in America and educating America on lucha, and then you send their luchadors there, because since Lucha Underground, I love Lucha Underground, but since then I've been watching more AAA. I used to be a CMLL guy. I don't know why I fucking stuttered that, but I used to be a CMLL guy, but ever since Lucha Underground, I'm not. I'm a AAA guy. So put that and they don't have Mystico. I'm a huge fan of Mystico. But yeah, no, I don't think it's a developmental system. It's more of a show the world what we can do and break into America type thing. I think it's more of that. That's just my opinion, though. Taryn Terrell is a better wrestler, Mike Talker, and knows how to play her character better than Paige. I agree. It hurts me to agree, but I agree. Paige to me is the Tim Tebow of divas. Eva Marie has an impressive NXT debut. I say Eva did improve, but the match, I don't know the Eva Marie storyline. I don't watch Total Divas. I never bought into I hate her or don't like her. I made a rule. I think Nikki Bella is the one. If you are a better wrestler than Nikki Bella, you deserve to be in WWE. If you're worse than Nikki Bella, you don't. And when people said, oh, she's really good, she's really improving, I said she has to be better than Nikki Bella. And when I saw her, she wasn't better than Nikki Bella. So I don't think, I mean, a lot of people are like, well, you have to improve, and that's what NXT is for. But that's not what minor league baseball is for. That's not what understudies in Broadway are for. If you're a pro wrestler and you get paid, you should know how to fucking wrestle. Wrestlers wrestle. Podcast. Writers write. It's just, I think it's that. But yeah, I didn't follow the drama of Eva Marie. But when I see her wrestle, I'm beyond disappointed. I don't care what she used to be. She's not, she's as good as an athletic. She's as good as an athletic female took a weekend at a wrestling course. That's how good she is. Like if I walked into a wrestling school and said, "Wow, how long has she been training?" and you said, "About a week now," I'm impressed. But if you got an NXT contract and you've been training for months, no, you're a bag of shit. You know what I mean? It's not for you. I don't know. She might improve. A lot of people think she's going to improve. Will she improve? Right now, she's not good. That's all I do know. If WWE did decide to do what Stephanie said and make Darren Young play a gay character on TV, do you think WWE would know how to handle the character and they make it to a... They have no idea how to handle the character, without a doubt. I mean, you got to remember, Eugene was supposed to look good for people with that handicap. They're clueless how to fucking write for characters like that. It would definitely be way too offensive. That one time Brock Lesnar was supposed to be a gay character, and they want to make a gay, respectable character, and I'm okay with that. But I don't think they can handle it. Not the athlete, not the fans. I just think the writing team doesn't know how to handle it. I think they would fuck it up. New Japan's world plan. New Japan Wrestling's plan is worldwide domination, as they have to take over. So the New Japan having a partnership with ROH and Global Force and various Japan promotions. Global Force Wrestling is partnered with TNA, ROH, and New Japan. While TNA still has good partnership with AAA, do you think this is safe to say that modern day version of territories are officially back? No. It's getting there, but there's still too much ego. I mean, look at the way TNA is representing Global Force. Look how, these two companies work together, lasted 4 weeks now. I don't think the territories are back. I think there's alternatives. I think there's that. But I think the territories will be back. It's just you have to stop. You have to stop wanting to be WWE and be the best. Don't be WWE. Be the best TNA you can be. Don't be WWE. Be the best New Japan you can be. Until they figure that part out, I don't think there'll be territories. I think there's alternatives, which is a huge, huge step in the right direction. Part 2, tough question, fact and fiction. All right, here we go. Do you think Triple H would have buried and got rid of Cena a long time ago if Triple H was fully in charge? I don't know, because Stephanie McMahon still handpicked him, and not Vince. I think it's more of a Stephanie McMahon, because you got to remember, Vince has Cena's back because Stephanie picked him. Well, why would Triple H change? Or do you think John Cena would have been the face of WWE regardless, back in full control? Yeah, I think regardless, just because no one wanted to prove Stephanie was wrong. Stephanie handpicked him to be the star, and they just stuck with it because, Daddy wanted to make sure she had confidence. So we all suffered because Stephanie needed confidence. So maybe if someone else ran it, or if there was legit competition, I don't think who ran, because you still have Stephanie. If Stephanie wasn't there, then no, John Cena wouldn't be a top guy. But I also think it's competition. Like if John Cena was getting booed out of the fucking building, and then you on the other channel you had Goldberg. Yeah, John Cena wouldn't be where he is today. Vince McMahon wants to see Triple H fail with the NXT project, so Vince is purposely trying to ruin or bury any talent. I don't think it's Vince. I think it's Vince's right-hand man. I think Vince thinks of it as like, oh, I'm going to be hard on my son because one day he's going to take over, and I want to make sure he's prepared for everything. I think Vince McMahon sees it as being hard on his son, but I think Vince McMahon's right-hand people are like, oh, shit, if Daddy leaves, I'm being fired. Let's tell Daddy, hey, no, this is a bad idea, Dad. This is a bad idea. So I don't think Vince wants Triple H to fail, but I think Vince's right-hand people want him to fail, and Vince wants it not to be easy. So I don't think Vince, I just think he's out of touch. I don't think he wants it to fail. This season, Toughness is more for publicity than actually finding new stars. It's always been that way, which is why the new season of Tough Enough is a waste of time. Just like what Mick Foley and Pro Wrestling Fans said on Twitter this week. Yeah, I stopped watching it after episode 1. I love how the only thing that made headlines was again, they tried to make the audience seem like fucking racist. We're like, we're not racist. You're racist because you voted him off. Yeah, sure. That's why he's the only one that got fucking cheered in front of the live audience. Anyway, if Vince actually gave WWE to Shane McMahon a few years ago, Shane would have had WWE in a better, a million times better. A million times better. Shane wanted to launch the network. Let's put it this way. I made a lot of money in streaming television, and I did it like 2-3 years after Shane wanted to do it. The WWE network would be fucking huge. Huge. It would be just fucking humongous. I think without a doubt, the product, the business, everything would have been better if it gave it to Shane. I think Vince made a huge mistake. Wrestling-wise, entertainment-wise, business-wise, network-wise. You know, dude, WWE Network would be bigger than fucking Netflix. It's just fucking insane. It's insane. But no, you didn't want to listen to fucking Vince. You didn't want to listen to Shane. You wanted to listen to Stephanie. And then he's like, remember Shane McMahon, who we fucking basically forced out of here because we fucking listened to fucking Triple H and Stephanie? Let's steal all his ideas and run with it. Oh, it's only been fucking 12 fucking years later. Way to go, Vince. Groundbreaking. Even Vince McMahon's ideas he can't steal from his fucking family. Let's see. Yeah, if Vince refuses to step down, do you see Stephanie and Triple H leaving WWE with NXT to make their own company? But don't you? But no. Triple H knows what he has. Stephanie knows what he has. No. I mean, maybe would they focus on NXT and make it better and better? Yeah, but they're not going to do this whole thing. They're still going to be. Do you think it's stupid WWE saying Kevin Owens is not a main event material? Yeah, it's just the old people out of touch. And do you think they don't want to push him because he came from ROH? That's a small possibility. I remember they had to deal with the action figures. The action figures was a really big deal. And I think that it might have a small aspect of it because I know that they're now working with WWN a lot more. And they're trying to hint at people not to work Ring of Honor if you want to make it to WWE. So that could be a small problem, but most of it's just old, out of touch people. WWE will take the Warrior Award off of the Hall of Fame ceremony and make it strictly an award for backstage employees who worked for WWE for years. Yeah, I don't know. I think they should do both. Have it a part of the show and have people backstage. There's so many people that are underpaid, busting their ass, making, like when WWE turns profit, that's all on Connecticut. That's not on John Cena. It's all on Connecticut. Yeah. Let's see. It's still the PG era and not the reality era. Yeah. I mean, the reality era really isn't that fucking reality at all. There are 5 or more people in WWE Hall of Fame right now that are not deserving and shouldn't have been done. Oh, that's definitely true. But, I just say put everyone in the fucking Hall of Fame. Like, why the fuck not? All right. Oh, man, we got a lot more questions. All right, let me delete some of these old ones. All right. Bam, I'm going to try to get all of them. Let's go to some live comments if we have them. Appreciate anyone that's watching live. Try to get to all the comments. Am I the only one that thinks Gato looks like a Japanese Jolo? Well, possibility. I don't know. I have a love-hate relationship with Gato. That's it. Let me see. Let's refresh here. 22-0, baby! I'm falling in love. Hey, look out, Mayweather. I'm coming for you, baby. Still undefeated. Lennox Wooderson, why did YouTube put you in spam? Those sons of biscuits. There we go. All right, let's go to some live comments here. Where did they evolve? Okay, how would you book? No, I wasn't joking. Who do you think? If wrestlers could work multiple promotions? LB Clash of Kings. Thanks. I try to keep live Q&A fun to talk about majority of the time. No problem. Appreciate it. Lennox Wooderson says Nakamura joining Bullet Club would be crazy. Would he become the leader? Fuck yeah, he'd become the leader. He's motherfucking Nakamura. LB Clash of Kings. I looked it up. That one promotion in Mexico that GFW is partnered with up is AAA. Also, did hear something about GFW having a TV deal in the UK. Rumors around. Yeah, I think they got a television deal in the UK, and they're still shopping it around. Sorry if I'm overwhelming you with too many comments. Maybe I should tone it down a bit. No, don't worry about it, bro. We want it to be a community. You know? No. Keep them coming. Just don't be angry if I miss a couple. But keep them coming. Do you think WWE is trying to force Daniel Bryan into retirement? Yeah. Yeah. And I as someone who has concussion, neck problems, broke neck, nerve problems, I love Daniel Bryan. I really do, and I want to see him retire. I don't think he knows what's ahead of him. You know what I mean? And when it comes to like, I know this is a little, oh my god, I only care because I have it type bullshit, but it's true. I broke my neck. I have nerve damage. I have concussion problems, and I wouldn't even wish that on John Cena or my worst enemy. I wouldn't. No. It's really, really not worth it. You know, I had concussion problems and ignored it in the Marine Corps. I had concussion problems and ignored it as a hand-to-hand combat instructor. And trust me, in the 90s, they did not give a fuck about concussions. If you could stand up, you could fight. Yeah, but no, like I forget names. I forget shit all the time. My hands shake. I twitch. You have to have a tight sleeping pattern. You know, your hands and legs go numb often. So yeah, I know it sounds crazy because I'm dealing with it, but no, it's even like I just did it to be in the Marine Corps. He's doing it to be a superstar. So I'm sure it's harder to walk away. But even if someone came by and be like, "Hey, the way you feel, would you still want to feel like this and be a WWE superstar?" And I would say no. I would say no. And the perfect example I give, as far as concussions goes, that hits home to me, where I was like, you know what, maybe I shouldn't have sacrificed so much of my fucking health. Is in Tokyo. It's a really big city, obvious statement. And me and my son were in Tokyo, and I was like, oh, let's go try to find that shop on my own. And my son, he got really worried and almost teared up. He's like, no, Dad, let's just stay. Let's stay. Let's not go. I'm like, why? No, it's right around the corner. I know. And he was legit scared that we were going to get lost. He's like, no, Tokyo's a big city. You're not going to remember. And it's it. Learning a new language is very hard. Remembering a schedule is very hard. And remembering people's names. If you sleep too much, you're sick for the next 3 days. If you don't sleep enough, you get dizzy. Yeah, it's just, don't fuck with concussions, bro. And I love Daniel Bryan, and I'm a greedy motherfucker, and I'm like, hey, you know what you got yourself into. But at the same time, why? For WWE, are they going to book him right? The sacrifices ain't worth it. But that's just me. LOL, some of your questions you answered were very old. Yeah, I'm trying to clear out, because every time I see a decent question and I don't get to it live on the air, I put it in a notebook pad, and yeah, some of them are really, there's some really old questions here. I got to do more Stump the Idiots. I've been ignoring my duties to live comments a little too long. LOL, some of the questions are very old, and I think you answered some of them in previous podcasts, so sorry for you to have answered old questions. I even forgot. I said, no problem. No worries. Lennox Wooderson, if you had to choose between two current wrestlers to main event the biggest show of all time, who would they be? What would the women's main event be? I don't know. Are we talking WWE? Are we talking about worldwide? Are we talking about, there's a lot to go here. But all right, let's just go. Icona Charlotte, I would go with the women's. That would be my main event for the women. And main event for the men. See, Dolph Ziggler would have been there. Ziggler. I don't know, because New Japan has some of the best talent in the world, but if it's worldwide, maybe people won't see them as popular. I'd definitely probably put Cesaro in there. Maybe. If you could push Cesaro. I don't know. Let's say, all right, this is what I'd do. It's a cheesy answer, but I think it's a pretty good answer. This is what I do. Right now, I think all the champions are really good. I'd have a 4-way of all the major champions, or an eight-man tournament of all the champions. That's what I would do. Because you have like who's the WWE champ? Seth Rollins, Okada, EC3, and Jay Lethal. That'd be pretty awesome. Then you get Roderick Strong if you count PWG. It depends how far down the rabbit hole you go. But I think that would be kind of cool. One Universal Champion. But then that means Vince McMahon won and bought everything out. But still, that's it. But if you only choose two, all right, let's choose two. I really like Okada. I don't know. There's a part of me that wants to say Okada Nakamura. That's so unfair to American wrestlers. Cesaro is the best in the ring wise. Dolph at one time really had it going on. I'm going to say Nakamura. Shit. All right. A respectable point, I guess we have time to tell a story. I would have Cesaro as a respectable champion representing, WWE and the world. And New Japan, I would have as a cocky Bullet Club leader, New Japan, Nakamura, as being the heel coming for the title. And then I'd have like his ECW invasion feel about New Japan. So, yeah. I mean, a lot of stuff has to go my way. It would probably be impossible, but yeah, that would be pretty cool. So, yeah, a heel Bullet Club Nakamura versus a WWE behind machine, the WWE machine behind the Cesaro. That would be my main event. So there you go. But a lot of stuff has to happen for that to happen. Lennox Werson, what do you think of Eva Marie beating Bayley for the women's title, then going on to win the Divas title at WrestleMania? I don't think they can do it. I think she has to improve a hell of a lot more than she is. I don't think it's going to get the reaction they want it to get. So, yeah, I mean, there's people that basically she's pretty much, the only thing she's got going for her is people are too mean to her. And I don't think there's a big enough audience to get behind her because of that. Like, I'm not mean to her. She's just not talented. Like, I wanted to buy the story. I wanted to see her improve. I didn't watch Total Divas. I don't know what her personality's like. But it would have been interesting to see someone improve. No. Unless this is a 90-year storyline, bitch just doesn't have it. But who knows? Maybe she could prove us wrong. Maybe they're working us and she's not trying. Moving on. LB Clash King. Also, my stance on Eva Marie has changed since then after I saw her matches right now. I'm over Eva Marie. When especially I watched Total Divas, one of the WWE management people said Eva's supposed to beat Divas champion considering the title at this year's WrestleMania. I'm looking at it right now after a few months of beating NXT that I'm over her. Yeah, I just don't like the stories there. Sure, people are buying into it, but at the end of the day, your package is shit. And you already have enough untalented wrestlers you're forcing. So, I don't know. The only reason that happens is WWE hates the fans. Because I've not seen anyone say anything good about her. I've seen people say, well, she's not as bad as people say. Well, that didn't fucking work for Fantastic Four. Who gives a shit if it's not as bad as people say? It's still not good. All right, let's see some more questions here. Fact or fiction? Spike TV, I think they're missing TNA because the show and the TNA's time slot is doing far worse in ratings. Advertising for Spike TV on their channel. I think fiction. I just think Spike TV doesn't give a shit. I don't think they like television and entertainment. It's not. They don't regret stuff. It's not that type of business. They're just like, oh, that was a decision we made fucking 12 years ago. Fuck it, and it hasn't been 12 years ago, but in TV time, it feels that way. I'd be honest with you, probably the guy that made that decision, I don't know this is fact. I'm just telling you how I feel the television programming works. The people that probably made that decision probably have been fired or hired or left. Television's, there's a lot of shaking going on. But do I think Spike TV is like, oh man, I wish we still had TNA? No, I don't think they ever say that. I don't know. Do you think Triple? And here's the thing: maybe TNA goes back to Spike TV. That's a possibility. It reminds me of a Futurama joke in the movie. We're like, we're back, baby. Yeah, those idiots at the box company, the ones that decided we were fucking horrible. They've been fired into the sun. I don't know. Do you think Triple H would be? I think we already read this one. All right, there we go. Boom, boom, boom. Next. Vince McMahon wants to see Triple H. Oh, you did a lot of doubles here, LB. I see where it's going. All right, we might skip some of these. Or did I just retype this twice? Oh, I'm an asshole. That's not a. I copied and pasted those comments twice. I was like, these questions are so good. Let me go. All right, all the other questions I have are big enough to have separate videos, so I'll save them. I'm gonna do one more run of live questions, and then I'm gonna wrap this bad boy up. And I try not to miss any comments. So, like, if I ever do miss a comment, most likely it just slipped through the cracks. I try to keep the community up. I don't know. I just try to have a conversation. If you leave a comment, I just try to answer it. We're still small enough that we can do that. All right. Boop, boop, boop. Facebook. All right, Facebook. Facebook, you're being naughty. Facebook is a little too obsessed about my wife and how I got an attractive wife. No, there will be no nudes. There will be no Playboy spreads. Facebook, you should be ashamed of yourself. That's my wife. No, I'm very lucky, and she must be blind. 23-0. Not too bad. Not too bad. Some spam comments, and then we'll wrap this bad boy up. All right. Usually it's YouTube who acts naughty. No, or Google Plus. But nope, today it's Facebook. All right, let's see. Where did I leave off? This is brought to you by Dave's an Idiot. Boop. Lennox Wooderson says, shouldn't a genius have many good ideas and only a few bad ones? Yeah, but sometimes people give credit to genius. Because, like, genius, originally, this is going to get nerdy. Originally, genius didn't mean you were perfect. Like, the word genius has changed. People think genius, like, you got to be smart all the time. But originally, genius was you had a moment of greatness. Like, you know, oh, you wrote Harry Potter. Oh, you made this. So, you know, in some ways, Vince McMahon is a genius, but the way people describe genius today, like you have to be smart constantly. No, he's not a genius. Would you? I think Vince McMahon. I just put him up there with Jobs. He's really good at marketing and had none of his own ideas. I think Jobs is a better businessman than McMahon, but I think McMahon gets credited being a genius a lot. That it's not. You know, think about it. Let's just look at the facts. He bought a company in the #1 market from his father at a fifth of the fucking price, and all the magazines and media were there. Like, of course he won. Like, if we had a game right now and went back to the territory days, and we said, hey, you get to take over any of the territories, of course, WWE taking over the New York area is like playing the game on easy. Would you consider Vince McMahon a genius? He's really good at marketing. I wouldn't use genius. Consider most of the idea of business ventures rarely admissible. Oh, without a doubt. He put Manitor. Alex Morrison put Manitor. I'm sorry. I was not. I was expecting the XFL, the WBF. I was expecting maybe a movie here and there. But when the first thing on your list, Lennox Wooderson, is Manitar. Oh, that caught me by surprise. Give yourself a Barry Horowitz. And not only that, but I don't think he has the chops to be in business. I don't think he's a very good businessman. Because I look at now, going on your Facebook timeline, and if you accept athletes or anybody like I did, mostly all people talk about is working out. Working out has become a religion. Almost every indie wrestler who gives up on indie wrestling becomes a bodybuilder. It's like the opposite of John Cena. I think the World Body Federation, if Vince McMahon had business balls and just ran with it, I think that's $1 million idea. I mean, look at Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's stuck with it, and that guy's making a shit ton of money off bodybuilding. And he's not, you know, I think, and I still think the XFL was a good idea. The problem is, Vince McMahon was given everything when it came to pro wrestling that he doesn't know what hard times are. and he gives up. Like the World Body Federation, Minotaur was horrible. There's no saving that. But the World Body Federation, think about it. You know how many people that their religion is working out? You know what I mean? That's it. That's all they do. Like lifting weights is more important than art, more important than writing, more important than reading, more important than love. There are people that are obsessed with lifting weights. Like that's all they know. That could be your demographic. That could be your that. No, I think Vince McMahon, his grapefruits ain't that big. The XFL, I think, could have eventually took off. The problem is Vince McMahon wanted to be number one. You know, I have to be number one. I have to beat the NFL. You know, well, maybe you shouldn't make fun of Dixie Carter so much there, Vince. At least Dixie had the fucking grapefruits to continue. But yeah, no, I don't think Vince McMahon is a genius. I think he's very, very good at marketing, and he works very hard. And I mean that as a compliment, you know. But I think the XFL and Bodybuilding Federation, I think it just shows he's not a businessman. He's just not. He doesn't fucking get it. He does everything too late. You know, when WWE says something's groundbreaking, that means 900 companies have already fucking made a profit on it. You know? Oh, streaming television! It's fucking groundbreaking! Really? Really? It's groundbreaking? Fucking Vince. Lennox Wooderson, are you sure you have concussion problems and not just the New Jersey pollution kicking in? Nice. Appreciate it. Yeah. New Jersey does have its pollution. Not only that, but I also moved to Japan, so Japan has a little bit of a problem too. Not pollution, but the radiation. No, it's definitely concussion problems, unless my doctor's lying to me. But nerve damage, it's all fun. LB Clash of Kings. Ohio Valley Wrestling is still around. The owner has sold Ohio Valley Wrestling to his friends who work backstage in Ohio Valley for years. Some guy I don't remember his name, but they stream Ohio Valley Wrestling episodes on the Ohio Valley website, but no longer has a women's division, as Leah Tampa was the last Ohio Valley Women's Champion before the belt was retired on hiatus. That's amazing. That's amazing. I used to keep up with Ohio Valley. It's amazing to keep going. I might have to check that out. I'm going to have to put that on my list of homework assignments. All right, we're going to hit live comments one more time. Boop-a-doo, boop-a-doo. Nothing on Twitter. All the bastards watching the NFL. Dun-dun-dun. Nothing on Google Plus, Facebook. All right, more jokes about my wife. There's a backlash of being ugly and having a more attractive wife than you. All right, no. All right, and refresh 23-0. That's not too bad. Thank you so much for the likes. I really appreciate it. I didn't know how a Q&A question would go, but I appreciate it. All right, this is the last question. LB Clash of the Kings, you are the MVP of tonight. Lennox Wooderson, you got yourself a silver medal. I appreciate all the live comments, but this will be the last question of the night. If I left any past questions on Stump the Idiot, then probably should have proofread them because they might have been comments you answered in previous podcasts. You know what? That's the best way to end. Wow. All right, we got to find a better question than that. Don't worry, dude. Yeah, it's okay. I don't proofread anything. Once again, it says the novelist. All right, let me. I'm going to refresh one more time. Hoping that we have a great last question. I guess not. I guess that will have to do. LB Clash of Kings. There we go. Here we go. Facebook asked a question. Here we go. Rico says, do you think WWE will always be number one? I think for a very long time. I think pro wrestling will die off. Because there's just not that much of a return on it. You know, like, you go look at, like, if you're a really rich guy and you can compete with WWE, you'd look at it and be like, well, that's number one, and they've been established, and they're not making that much of a profit. There's better stuff to invest in. So, I don't know. I think New Japan might have a shot, but the problem is they're going to run into the same problem TNA has. When someone says something about New Japan, there's going to be 30,000 fucking, I don't know, I'm using that number, but there are going to be a large chunk of people that are going to be like, no, it's perfect. You're a fucking idiot. And you just like watching WWE. And when those fans do that, the fans will be like, oh, you're probably right. I'm going to go watch WWE. Fucking douches. So I think WWE is going to be number one for a very, very long time, especially if they make this switch to Triple H and he fixes a few of the problems. But just because something's not number one doesn't mean, you know. So there you go. Any nuts. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm just getting an email that has nothing to do with this podcast, and I probably should be ending this podcast. All right, so please like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to try to do at least one podcast a day. I think Wrestling Ranted is planning to do a Raw review tomorrow, and they all won't be this long. This was a catch-up show. Some of them might be, I don't know. We'll see. I got a couple ideas to improve the channel and the community, so hopefully it works out. All right, like, comment, subscribe. Check out Kocosports.net. And with that, I'll see you tomorrow for Monday Night Raw review. I think I already said that. Why am I cutting myself off? With that, I am over.